Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit benderdentalcare.com.
Big opportunities don't wait for the winter meeting season. Stay in the know now with Compeer Financial's Agri-Mindset webinars, where industry experts bring you the latest in ag, and you don't have to leave the farm to listen in. Join us August 21st at 1 o'clock for an in-depth hour on navigating technology investments to benefit your farm in today's market. Sign up for Compeer's next Agri-Mindset webinar at compeer.com/register. Compeer Financial is an equal credit opportunity lender and provider. Copyright 2024. All rights reserved.
Experience the natural side of Wisconsin Dells this summer at Land of Natura, now open. It's the first natural theme park and water park of its kind. You have to see this one. This 150-acre park is for all ages and includes Water World, America's largest floating water park, plus more than 10 attractions, dining, and much, much more. There's so much to do there. Land of Natura in the Dells, where fun comes naturally. Reserve your pass at landofnatura.com today.
Beef Villa's 3 locations offer much more than their signature Italian beef. Try the Italian sausage, roasted chicken, and more. There's a big variety of delicious side dishes. Beef Villa uses quality ingredients from homemade recipes, and they purchase top-of-the-quality food products from their vendors to bring you the absolute best tasting of foods. Beef Villa's great service and quality are waiting for you, but you won't be waiting long because it's always hot and fresh. Visit beefvilla.com. For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
And when like Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, Brian has these little competitions. People ring up and they gobble like a turkey, and whoever gets the most votes for the best gobble off, they win a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Really? That's a great idea. That's a great radio contest. Derek has given us some great ideas here.
That's
Larry.
right. Yeah.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN. Are you getting ready to clock out for the day? Get ready for the ultimate midday pick-me-up. Cruise home with the Midday Drive with Matt. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Join in as I bring you the hottest hits, engaging conversations, and your daily dose of entertainment. From trending topics to local happenings, I've got your afternoons covered. We hope you'll enjoy the ride with the Midday Drive. Tune in on WRMN AM 1410 and drive your day with the Midday Drive. Every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on WRMN. The voice of the valley, the talk of the town.
And Matt's going to be moving to your mid-morning drive starting next Monday as he takes on the new role as host of Out to Lunch from 10 until 1. But we'll talk about that as the show unfolds. In the meantime, it is time for the first shift. It is a Friday morning. It is the 9th day of August, and welcome to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin. I'm Marky B reporting. And our first shift starts with our Pledge of Allegiance and our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. welcome to the weekend from WRMN and from the Fox River Valley Media Network.
Welcome to the first shift, right here on the Voice of the Valley, WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Don't get that excited. I'm only introducing Marky B. Exactly. Featuring local news and sports, your Fox Valley forecast, and local traffic twice an hour at 15 and 45 minutes past. Timely interviews, a radio shopping show preview, milestones and memories, and born on dates of the lates and greats. Elgin trivia, and all of your phone calls, texts, and Facebook comments as part of the staff meeting. The First Shift is the most informative, entertaining, and interactive morning show in all of the Fox River Valley and beyond.
You liar!
Well, okay. At least it makes great background noise, whether you're at work, in the car, or at home.
Whatever!
Your host, Marky B, maintains an upbeat attitude every day despite the fact that he's saddled with an overall lack of talent, a delusioned ego, and false hope for a bright future.
Loser.
Yeah, he's pretty much a loser. But at least he tries. Welcome to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin for the first shift on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty!
Welcome to a Friday morning here at WRMN. AM 1410, WRMN Radio, on YouTube, and that's one way you can communicate with us. Another way, of course, is on our Image 360 information line at 505-926-1410 if you want to send a text in this morning. 505-926-1410. It is a Friday morning, and it's good to be the weekend. It seemed like a fast week. I guess that's, I don't know, good or bad thing. You like the weekends. However, I don't want life to go by so fast. But it seemed like it was kind of a fast week as we head towards another weekend, and a busy weekend that it's going to be, with lots of choices for you outside. I'll take a look at a little First Shift 411. We don't do too much of it on Fridays usually, but I can take a minute and go over a couple of things that you might want to think about doing this weekend if you want to get out and about. And if you do want to get out and about, this would be the perfect weekend to do so, as we have an amazing weather weekend that lies ahead here in the Fox River Valley. A great place to be, but a great place to be climate-wise in the summertime. It's not too hot. We have had quite a bit of rain this summer, but it's been okay. And this weekend, no rain. Fair skies and 58 degrees right now as we start your Friday morning. And look at these temperatures for today. Sunshine with a high of 74. Clear skies all the way down to 52 for your overnight low tonight. Tomorrow, same as today, sunshine with a high of 74. And then on Sunday, sunshine with a high of 78. Amazing. And I don't see any rain in this entire forecast, looking all the way to next Thursday. So we're in a dry period now. And I think that's okay since we've had a lot of rain this summer. We can stand a little dry period. It's not a real dry, hot period, as even next week we're only going to make it back to the lower 80s. So not bad at all. Hard to complain about that. If you're complaining about that, then you complain too much. 6:15 on this Friday morning. Coming up on the show today, Larry Jones. I'm sure he'll be along in a bit, traveling in from Huntley right now. One of our great Western friends from the city of Elgin, where WRMN's headquarters are, here in downtown Elgin on Douglas Avenue. And so we'll see Larry in a little bit. And Jakes is out again today. He continues on his long summer vacation. He and Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers have been hanging out together. Neither has been showing up at work. So Jakes won't be here again today. He continues in his contract holdout. We'll see if we can resolve it by next Friday. So it's Larry Jones and me and you. Call us between 7 and 9 today and be a part of the show at 847-931-1410. That's our phone number. Do I say it too fast? I was thinking about that yesterday during the Kane County Speaks show, where I think we pick up a few new listeners because Brian Anderson spreads the word amongst his friends to try out WRMN. And so I'm thinking that maybe I should slow down when I give the phone number, especially during that show, because maybe we have some new listeners. Don't just rattle it off for the sake of rattling it off. Say it nice and understandable, or understandably. 847-931-1410. That's the number you can call between 7 and 9. 8:40 this morning. We'll talk a little sports with Tim Calderwood. It looks like the Boomers got beat last night, but they've had a pretty good week all around. They are making a run towards the end of the season here, so we do need a Boomers update. See where they stand in terms of making the playoffs right now. Also with Tim Calderwood this morning, we can talk about the Chicago White Sox, who made a managerial change yesterday. Pedro gets to enjoy his summer a little while, as Grifol was sent packing after less than 2 seasons as manager of the Chicago White Sox and 2 of the worst losing streaks in White Sox history. The 2 worst losing streaks in White Sox history in the same season. 21-game losing streak and a 14-game losing streak. And it's the Sox and the Cubs for a couple of games this weekend. And then for whatever reason, the Cubs don't play Sunday, and maybe the White Sox don't either. Well, they don't play any day, but the Cubs, I know, have the day off on Sunday, which is odd. I imagine the White Sox probably do, too. You can't really start a series with anybody on Sunday. But that's weird to have a Sunday off. I'm sure the baseball players don't mind. Then go out Saturday night. The White Sox and the Cubs the next 2 days, and the White Sox will be managed by Grady Sizemore, a 42-year-old longtime big leaguer, first year as a coach with the White Sox system, and he will take over for the rest of the season for Pedro Grifol. We can talk to Tim Calderwood about that. We'll talk about the Cubs, perhaps. They're trying to climb back into relevance again as they played well in their last week or so, winning 5 of their last 7 games. And if they ever had a chance to get back into the mix, you better not slip up against the South Side. Cubs and Sox the next 2 days. Tim Calderwood, 8:40 until 9. Chief Anna Lally sent me a text yesterday. Says she is out of town. So Fridays with the Finest, it will happen. But Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler is filling in for the Chief, Anna Lally. From the Elgin Police Department, Fridays with the Finest. Every half hour we go Elgin-centric, and we talk local law enforcement. This week, Adam Schuessler is in, and this week, the Elgin Police Department also had a bunch of promotions within the department, and they have a new commander. As you heard on the news this week, Mr. Lesko has retired from the force. He was one of the commanders. So the new commander is, let's see, it is Commander Tom Michael. Tom Michael is the new commander on the Elgin Police Department, and Tom's got 2 first names, Tom and Michael. We'll learn more about him than just the fact that he has 2 first names when he visits with Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler today on Fridays with the Finest. Also, I think we're going to have a surprise guest well, not a surprise guest because I'm going to tell you who it is, but a little bit of a different twist to Fridays with the Finest today. He's actually been on the Fridays with the Finest show before, but he's going to make a brief appearance this morning early in the program, and that would be Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan. There was a weird incident in Elgin that pretty much locked up traffic. Well, not locked up traffic, just you couldn't go over the bridge, basically, on Highland for most of the day yesterday. The Highland Street Bridge was blocked off by the Elgin Operations Center, the Emergency Operations Center. The big command unit was parked on the bridge all day, and they had the bridge blocked off, and they were kind of investigating a fuel leak, a diesel fuel leak. We covered it on Out to Lunch a little bit yesterday, and I went over there a couple of times to just see if I could see what was going on. Walked over by the river and looked down into the water, and sure enough, I could see a little film, like an oily film, drifting downstream from north to south on your radio dial, and that was diesel fuel that was getting into the Fox River. They had a rescue boat, I guess maybe you call it a rescue boat. Fire department boat was down below the bridge. They were trying to find the source of where the leak was coming from. It scared people into thinking there was a Fox River rescue. That was not the case. There was no Fox River rescue. No one jumped into the river yesterday. So it was just to try to figure out the source of where this fuel leak was coming from. And it was kind of baffling them for a while, I guess. Well, I would imagine it's hard to find the source down there, right? But it took all day, and I'm not sure what the outcome was, but Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan, who I did talk to on the bridge yesterday for a couple of minutes, will just come on the phone for a couple of minutes at the beginning of Fridays with the Finest this morning to give us a little recap of what took place yesterday. We won't keep him long. We don't want to interrupt the regular flow of the Friday show, but I think it's important that we get a little recap of what happened on the bridge yesterday. So Fire Chief Rob Sagan joins us early during Fridays with the Finest this morning on the phone for about a 3 to 5 minute update. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to give the call to the show, 847-931-1410. Steve Thoren's got the Senior Community Spotlight Show coming up at 9:30 this morning. Brian Kilmeade, one more time on a Friday from 10 until 12. Kilmeade starting next week will move till the evenings. We'll have the Brian Kilmeade Show on from 6 until 9 each night, replacing Rick Smith and Tom Hartman. If you listen to WRMN in the evenings, we have been kind of mixing things up here lately. Hopefully we can settle into a more permanent programming lineup. Brian Kilmeade will be moved to the evenings next Monday. He'll be on from 6 until 9, his full show, 3-hour show. All right, 623 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. We'll get into our staff meeting, our dumb daily holidays, some news and sports here at the bottom of the hour. But first, on this day in music history, 2005, August the 9th, Mark Cohn survived being shot in the head during an attempted carjacking as he left a concert in Denver, Colorado. Cohn was struck in the temple by the bullet, but it did not penetrate his skull. Police said a man tried to commandeer Cohn's tour van as it left after a show. The attacker was fleeing police after trying to pay a hotel bill with a stolen credit card. This was all going on in Denver, and he shot Mark Cohn in the head. Mark Cohn survived. He wanted to get out of Denver, and he wanted to go back to Memphis. 624. Mark Cohn prefers walking in Memphis, not Denver.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues in the middle of the pouring rain. W.C. Handy, won't you look down over me? Yeah, I got a first class ticket, but I'm as blue as a boy can be. Then I'm walking in Memphis, just walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? I see him, they just hovered around his tomb. But there's a pretty little thing waiting for the king down in the jungle room. When I was walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? They've got catfish on the table. They've got gospel in the air. And Reverend Green, be glad to see you when you haven't got a prayer. But boy, you got a prayer in Memphis. Now Muriel plays piano every Friday at the Hollywood, and they brought me down to see her, and they asked me if I would do a little number, and I sang with all my might. She said, tell me, are you a Christian child? And I said, ma'am, I am tonight. Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel? Walking in Memphis, I was walking with my feet 10 feet off a beam. Walking in Memphis, but do I really feel the way I feel?
Better than being shot in the head.
Put on my blue suede shoes and I boarded the plane. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring rain. Touchdown in the land of the Delta Blues, in the middle of the pouring
Rain.
rain.
What a song, huh? On a Friday morning. Mark Cohn and Walking in Memphis. I've done a lot of walking in Memphis over the years, I'll tell you that. What a story. Being shot in the head by someone who was fleeing the police after trying to pay a hotel bill with a fraudulent credit card in Denver back in 2005. Well, you never know what's going to happen, right? 58 degrees and fair skies right now. We head for a high today of about 74. What an amazing Friday we are headed for. WRMN News Time is 6:29. It is the 32nd week of the year. It's Friday, August the 9th. Let's win this day. Elgin and the Fox River Valley are open for business. Good morning.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzy. In Elgin, the race for City Council is heating up with petitions now available for 4 open seats. Interested candidates can visit the city clerk's office in City Hall, room 202, to secure their petition. This Saturday from noon until 2, the Lego Olympics are taking place at the Elgin Community College. You can celebrate the 2024 Summer Olympics with an epic Lego building contest. Build an Olympic-themed creation with family and friends. You'll have 2 hours to build, and entries will be judged by ECC staff. In Elgin, officials debunked rumors regarding a search and rescue operation along the Fox River that, according to many, had happened yesterday. Highland Avenue instead was closed from Douglas Avenue to Route 31 due to a minor fuel leak, which remains under investigation. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Kids will find buried treasure this summer as they climb aboard the pirate ship and pretend they're sailing the seven seas. Pirates Cove Children's Theme Park in Elk Grove is designed to encourage exploration and imagination for children from 2 to 9. There's so much to see and do, like Barnet's Bay Boats, Camelot's Castle, Pirates Plunge, Safari Express, Thoren Schooners, and so much more. Wearing socks and gym shoes for safe play is advised. For more information, visit elkgroveparks.org.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Team USA men's basketball will play for the gold after rallying to beat Serbia on Thursday, 95-91 the final. The U.S. surged back from a 17-point deficit. LeBron James had a triple-double with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Team USA will take on France this Saturday in a rematch of the 2021 Olympic final. France defeated Germany 73-69 to advance to the gold medal game. In the men's 110-meter hurdles, the USA's Grant Holloway took home the gold. Daniel Roberts won the silver. In the women's 400-meter hurdles, the U.S.'s Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone took the gold. Anna Cockrell took the silver. NFL preseason action Thursday, the Giants beat the Lions 14-3, while the Patriots beat the Panthers 17-3. Today, the Falcons take on the Dolphins, while the Steelers host the Texans, and the Eagles visit the Ravens.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Getting ready for back to school at Macy's is all about fresh starts and new looks, making it one of summer's greatest hits. Save on must-haves like cargos, mini dresses, jeans, and more that'll hold up from the first day of school to the last. Plus, you'll find all the top quality brands you love, like Nike, Jordan, Levi.
Here are the headline stories from Elgin newspapers 100 years ago today. Brought to you by the Elgin Area Historical Society.
On the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago, this is the news of August 9th, 1924. Declaring that they have sold more mosquito repellent in the last 72 hours than they have since they've been in business, Elgin druggists sold out recently of various products they have available. The demand for the remedies in preventing and curing mosquito bites has exceeded the supply, and while hundreds of victims have turned away drugstores, it was reported that the activities of the mosquitoes are as bad as ever. Many people stated today that the skeeters, as they are described, were more bothersome than any time since the invasion of the pests. In other Elgin news, Elgin's deep wells at the pumping station are furnishing water of entirely satisfactory quality, according to a report received by Commissioner Louis Forwarding from the State Department of Public Health in Springfield. Reports read that sample number 11762 showed the absence of gas-forming organisms and indicated the deep wells were furnishing water of entirely satisfactory quality. The water was safe for drinking purposes at the time, since these samples were collected from an analytical point of view to conform to the United States Treasury Department standards for use on interstate carriers. In other Elgin news, please be aware we have an ad for walkover shoes in Elgin on 21 Douglas Avenue. The shoes that available are part of the regular stock. They come in leather satins and pens, a wide variety of heels. Every shoe is on sale and a value you cannot afford to miss. Women's shoes start as low as $5. Walkover standardized prices include $7, $8.50, and $10. That's Walkover Shoes, 21 Douglas Avenue in downtown Elgin. Elgin 100 years ago has been a presentation of the Elgin Area Historical Society, and I am Jerry Torquist.
That's it for today. Be sure to tune in again for more news from 100 years ago. And don't forget to visit the Elgin History Museum, located in Old Main at 360 Park Street. You can find its hours of operation and programs offered at elginhistory.org.
Friday morning. You know what I like to play on Friday mornings? Irish instrumentals. Why? I don't know. Can't answer that one. But let me see if I can find a little Irish instrumental for you. Welcome back to the show, 636. Here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. That's where our staff meeting is. The Beehive Bar and Grill is YouTube. Join us at WRMN Radio on YouTube and subscribe to the page. Subscribe to the page. And you could also send us a message on the Image 360 information line. And the phone number for the Image 360 information line is 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. All right, still queuing up some Irish music here. Anna the Chairman has walked in. She has handed me some coupons. Let's see what we're going to Jewel for this weekend. Let's see what this Irish music sounds like. Well, it's like Celtic music. You say the Boston Celtics, I say Celtic. 638 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. All right, we're going to Jewel this weekend, says Anna the Chairman. Why? What coupons has she cut out of the paper for me? That's right, old school, baby. We are getting 4 pub burgers for $6. And those pub burgers are huge. Really, they're 8. You can cut them in half. You got 8 pub burgers for $6. There you go. That's a good reason to go to Jewel right there. How long does the deal last? I don't have to go today, do I? I'll have to see how long the deal lasts. Because I don't think I can go today. I can go tomorrow. What else are we getting at Jewel? Let's see. Anna the Chairman has handed me another coupon here. We have a sizzling hot offer. 99 cents right now for strawberries, blueberries, yellow fresh peaches, Fuji, whatever that is, Cosmic Crisp, whatever that is, Granny Smith apples, or Pink Lady apples, fresh cut seedless watermelon, large red mangoes, green beans, cauliflower, hatch peppers, whatever they are, and Farmer Dan's Honey Bears. All these things are yours for 99 cents right now at Jewel. And there's a free commercial for Jewel. The Jewel on Larkin, which I go to all the time. Not all the time, but a fair amount of times. So maybe a little grocery visit tomorrow morning. I hope that deal on the pub burgers is still good tomorrow morning. And there's still some left, because that's a good deal. 4 for $6. Good size. It's 6:40 here at WRMN, AM 1410, and WRMN Radio on YouTube here on this Friday morning. As it's time to check a little bit of news and see what's in the news this morning. I mentioned that we had the diesel fuel leak on the bridge here in Elgin yesterday, the Highland Street Bridge. Detouring traffic all through the day. No one was able to go over the bridge. We'll get a report, a little recap from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan coming up at about 9:05, or maybe even sooner. Between 9 and 9:05 this morning, I'll call Fire Chief Rob Sagan. Maybe a 3 to 5 minute recap on what occurred on the bridge yesterday. Well, nothing occurred on the bridge. It was a little diesel fuel leak, and there was some diesel getting into the Fox River. When I spoke with the chief yesterday, he said it was from the storm drains. It was not harmful to people. I mean, unless you were sitting there drinking that water right out the river right then. That everything should be fine. Hopefully they found the source, and hopefully that problem is done. Chief Rob Sagan this morning at about 9 o'clock for a quick update. 641, you're at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. So that's one early story as you listen to the first shift this morning. Let's see, what else am I tracking? We got the Bender Dental feel-good story of the day coming up at about 7:05 this morning. School is getting ready to start back up next week. And a lot of kids, a lot of families are struggling financially, so they can use whatever help they can get. And a lot of people are stepping up. For instance, St. Charles nonprofit Big Hearts of Fox Valley. I'll tell you about what they did. Avondale Estates in Elgin is going to help some kids out today. I'll tell you what they're going to do. Well, basically school supply giveaways, backpack giveaways. That's the Bender Dental feel-good story of the day. And that comes your way at about 7:05 or so this morning. In other news, I mentioned the water. People fear that maybe someone had jumped into the Fox River yesterday, and that's why they had the bridge blocked off all day. That was not the case. Even though there was a boat, the fire department did put their boat in the water. It was not a rescue mission. It was to find out the source of the diesel fuel leak. However, I do have a story entitled Dead in the Water, because a man was pulled from Woods Creek Lake last Saturday in Lake in the Hills, and he was pronounced dead on Tuesday, according to the McHenry County Coroner's Office. Maciej Delicat, 31 years old. I may have butchered his name, but you don't see a name spelled like that very often. M-A-C-I-E-J. Probably not Maciej, but that's what I'm going to call him right now. Maciej Delicat, 31 years old, of Lake in the Hills, was swimming in Woods Creek Lake when he was found unresponsive in the water at 5 o'clock last Saturday in the afternoon. The Lake in the Hills Police Department said Delicat and a companion were swimming in the lake near the Laban Hain House in Lake in the Hills, a village-owned meeting space. Delicat appeared at the surface of the water unconscious and unresponsive. He was pulled out of the water by the companion and two people who were fishing nearby. And they began CPR until police could arrive. Police continued CPR until the Algonquin Lake in the Hills Fire Protection District arrived. The fire district responders took over CPR, they began medical care, and they took the man to Northwest Huntley Hospital. McHenry County Coroner Michael Rain announced his office was contacted by the hospital to investigate the death of Delicat on Tuesday. An autopsy was performed Wednesday, and a toxicology report is pending. So, Delicat drowns, I guess, swimming in the Lake in the Hills last Saturday. All right, what time is it? It's crime time. It is crime time here on a Friday morning, so let's move on into that now. Crime time. An Aurora man received a 9-year prison sentence for trying to crash the Kane County Sheriff's deputies, crash into the Kane County Sheriff's deputies during a high-speed pursuit back in 2022. After a bench trial in June, a Kane County judge found Pedro Vilches, 24 years old, guilty of attempted murder and several other crimes connected with the August 2022 pursuit. Vilches was sentenced yesterday. He must serve 85% of his sentence, and he receives credit for 713 days already spent behind bars in the Kane County Jail, about 2 years already behind bars for Pedro. He gets 9 years altogether, must serve 85%, which is about 7.5, 8 years. He's been in for 2, so he's probably looking at another 5.5 or 6 years. Arrested back in 2022 after deputies attempted to make a traffic stop on the silver Mazda that Pedro was driving on Orchard Road near Prairie Street in Aurora back in 2022. Authorities said he sped away from deputies, oftentimes exceeding 100 miles an hour. On 3 separate occasions, he drove into oncoming traffic and tried to crash head-on into pursuing deputies. Wow. Suicide mission for Pedro. He didn't commit suicide, though. He didn't die, and the Kane County officers were okay, too. No one was injured in the chase, somehow. That lasted several minutes before deputies were able to pin the Mazda against a curb at Cedar and Wilder Streets in Aurora. Pedro Vilches was arrested. He's been in jail ever since, and he'll be in jail for another 5.5 or 6 years. Crime time. Here at WRMN AM 1410 and at WRMN Radio on YouTube. And we finished with a couple of, ugly stories to say the least. They're not crime times, but they're not pleasant stories either. A man was airlifted to Advocate Condell Medical Center in Libertyville on Wednesday afternoon after falling out of a tree in Algonquin. The Algonquin Lake in the Hills Fire Protection District said in a news conference on Wednesday afternoon that this individual had fallen out of a tree he was working. He fell about 30 feet from a tree. Fire Chief John Knebel said the man was trimming trees. The scene was off Sawanis Trail. Firefighters arrived there about 2:15 in the afternoon and found the man, about 40 years old, on the ground requiring medical attention. Fire crews requested a medical helicopter for the man. The helicopter's landing zone was the soccer field behind St. Margaret Mary School off of Algonquin Road. The man airlifted to Advocate Condell Medical Trauma Center because of the severity of his injuries. As of the time of the story, officials didn't know the man's condition. So this man fell from a tree doing a job in Algonquin. And then I saw this story this morning from the Daily Herald. A woman is dead after she was crushed on a conveyor belt at O'Hare International Airport yesterday morning. Now, how did this happen? One wonders. The woman, 57 years old, was last seen on camera at 2:27 a.m. entering a restricted area at the International Terminal. She was going where she was not supposed to go, a restricted area. Larry Langford, a spokesperson for the Chicago Fire Department, said firefighters were called to the airport about 7:45 a.m. for a report of a person pinned in machinery, which is used to move baggage. How in the world? He said they discovered the woman entangled in a conveyor belt system in a baggage room. She was pinned in the machinery, said Larry Merritt, another spokesperson for the fire department. Person dead on arrival. This identification of the woman not given in this story, 57 years old, and she entered a restricted area at the International Terminal at O'Hare Airport. Crazy. It's 6:50 here at WRMN, AM 1410, and WRMN Radio on YouTube. All right, let's see. Let's get into our staff meeting just a little bit as we head for the 7 o'clock hour. Larry Jones is outside right now, stretching his vocal cords. He'll be in soon. We have a nice gathering building up outside, the executive staff meeting. Gregarious Gina's outside. She started the whole partay at about 10 past 6 this morning. The Studio 14 naked eye cam this morning was activated at 5:39. We also have Jose. Downtown Jose has made his way outside this morning. Anna the Chairman, Director of Foreign Affairs, walked up about 6:32 today from her car. Comforting Kathleen is here now, distributing the Friday morning goods, coffee and donuts on Friday. CK is the best, but for more reasons than that, of course. Comforting Kathleen is here. And we saw Drunken Mark this morning. He rode by the radio station at about 6:25 or 6:30. It's his birthday. It's his birthday today, so it's going to be a even bigger party for Drunken Mark today, who's well on his way early this morning, sipping on the Ice House 2x4s. I think it was actually natural ice. I'm not sure. Either way, same effect. 6:52. But he has since ridden off towards Dundee to continue his birthday party. His birthday party starts right at midnight on his birthday, or maybe it never ends from the day before. 6:52 here at WRMN, AM 1410, and WRMN Radio on YouTube. Friday morning. All right, let's go to YouTube for a minute and see what you've got to say this morning on our chat room at WRMN Radio on YouTube today. It all started this morning with Captain Keith, senior engineer, Elgin High, class of 1978, back when life was great and I was 8. Have a great Friday and weekend, shifters. All shifters matter in the eyes of the captain. Captain Keith. He checked in this morning at 6:05, right after I activated the live YouTube today. The Big Boss Man checks in, sending us our first batch of prayers for the weekend. Got to reset the prayer scoreboard. Now we start with 20. 20 prayers on the prayer scoreboard from the Big Boss Man, who says, good morning, Marky B and Larry, and Jakes, wherever you are. No Nickname John checks in. He always does his bad pun or bad joke, oftentimes based on the dumb daily holiday of the day. Good morning, First Shifters. Today is National Book Lovers Day. I have started reading the history of glue, says No Nickname John. I have started reading the history of glue. I can't put it down. There's a book called The History of Glue, and No Nickname John has begun to read it, and now he can't put it down.
Please be quiet.
This needs to stop now.
Shut up!
No Nickname John. I don't know. A 6? I might give that a 6 on a 1 to 10 scale. The history of glue, but he does send 6 prayers to our prayer scoreboard this morning. No Nickname John in the house on this Friday morning. And good morning to Dennis D. Not So Young checking in. The Nightmare on Elm Street says, good morning, First Shifters. Have a great day and a wonderful and safe weekend. Stay safe so you're not called out over the weekend. 6:55 here at WRMN. More of our staff meeting throughout the morning. We'll have our call to order at about 7:25, brought to you by Comfort Keepers of Elgin. And we'll check YouTube and the Image 360 information line throughout the course of the morning today. We'll finish the hour by checking another event on this day in music history. Let's see who was in the news. I think The Four Tops were in the news for one reason or another. Let's see. The Four Tops. I know I saw them this morning. Yes. In 1963, the popular music-based show Ready, Steady, Go premiered on televisions across the UK and featured Pat Boone, Bill Fury, Brian Poole, and the Tremolos, the Searchers, and Jet Harris. While the series would only air until 1966, it would host some of the biggest names in music, including the Beatles, the Lovin' Spoonful, the Rolling Stones, the Kinks, and this band, the Four Tops. We'll go to the top of the hour news with this song by the Four Tops. Ain't no woman like the one I got.
Ain't no woman like the one I've got. Ain't no woman like the one I've got. Ain't no woman like the one I've got. Every day the sun comes up around her. She can make the birds sing harmony. Every drop of rain is glad it found her. Heaven must have made her just for me. When she smiles so warm and tender, a sight for sore eyes to see. I've got. Oh, no, it don't come better. To make her happy doesn't take a lot. She don't ask for things, no diamond rings. Sew together like a hand in glove, like pages in a letter. Ain't no woman like the one I love. She can build me up when it's down. I'm going. Put a little music in my day. Wouldn't be surprised if my love keeps growing. Bigger every minute that she stays away. I would kiss the ground she walks on, 'cause it's my word she'll obey. Now, ain't no woman like the one I got. Well, I kiss the ground she walks on. To make her happy doesn't take a lot. She's a real good friend right to the end. Sew together like a hand in glove. I'm a lonely man when she's gone. People, ain't no woman like the one I love. What a good thing I've got. She means a lot. Ain't no woman like the one I got. No, they don't come better. To make her happy doesn't take a lot. She don't ask for things, no diamond rings. Sew together like a hand in glove. Pages in a letter. Ain't no woman like the one I love, people.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Massiano's Pizza and Pastaria of Elgin. There is one inexhaustible aspect of everyday life that never dulls, namely the simple pleasure of eating and drinking. Massiano's wants to make sure that this is the best part of your day. Visit Massianos.com and sign up to view their special offers all year long. Delivery, carry out, or dine in, enjoy it anyway, because life is good at Massiano's. Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit BenderDentalCare.com.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 7 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments. This Saturday from noon until 2, the Lego Olympics are taking place at the Elgin Community College. You can celebrate the 2024 Summer Olympics with an epic Lego building contest. Build an Olympic-themed creation with family and friends. They'll have 2 hours to build, and entries will be judged by ECC staff. And Elgin officials debunked rumors regarding a search and rescue operation along the Fox River that, according to many, had happened yesterday. Highland Avenue instead was closed from Douglas Avenue to Route 31 due to a minor fuel leak, which remains under investigation. In Elgin, the race for City Council is heating up with petitions now available for 4 open seats. Interested candidates can visit the city clerk's office in City Hall, room 202, to secure their petition. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 7th at Panton Mill Park, South Elgin, Illinois. Join us Saturday, September 7th for America's First Responders Fest. The South Elgin event will pay tribute to veterans and all first responders. This year's event includes Rapid Response 5K and Fun Run starting at 10 a.m. The festival hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll have first responder stage tributes. There will be a classic car show from JP Car Shows. Live bands featuring Deacon Frost, Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, Jimmy Nick, and the Junkyard Groove. We'll broadcast live right here on WRMN 1410 and at WRMN Radio on YouTube. There will be food and beverage trucks, kids' activities, and market-style vendor booths. For more information and updates leading up to the event, please visit afrfest.org. Again, that's Saturday, September 7th. For more information, visit afrfest.org. That's America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 7th at Panton Mill Park, South Elgin, Illinois.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears open up the preseason tomorrow at Buffalo. The team's starters will take some snaps, including top overall pick quarterback Caleb Williams. Day off of both the Cubs and the White Sox on Thursday, but the White Sox fired manager Pedro Greifal after a 28-89 start. He was at the helm for less than 2 seasons. The Sox recently snapped a 21-game losing skid. Bench coach Charlie Montoyo, third base coach Eddie Rodriguez, and assistant hitting coach Mike Tosar also let go. Grady Sizemore will take over as interim manager for the remainder of the season. He'll be joined by bench coach Doug Sisson, third base coach Justin Gershelli, and hitting coach Mike Gellinger. The Cubs and White Sox begin a series tonight in South Chicago. The Cubs have won 2 in a row in 6 of 10 and sit 5 games out of a wild card in the National League.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Getting ready for back to school at Macy's is all about fresh starts and new looks, making it one of summer's greatest hits. Save on must-haves like cargos, mini dresses, jeans, and more that'll hold up from the first day of school to the last. Plus, you'll find all the top quality brands you love, like Nike, Jordan, Levi's.
And we're back with WCK, Comfort Keepers Radio. So, Julianne, what got you interested in Comfort Keepers?
Mom passed. We were concerned about Dad being alone.
And Phil, what's it like to have a caregiver around?
Well, it's great. They help me get ready for the day and drive me wherever I need to go.
And I heard you guys are cooking together, too.
I'm learning.
It's been a huge relief knowing someone's there.
Learn more at comfortkeepers.com.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400 and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Microsoft has new computers that put AI first, this special category called Copilot Plus PCs. They have minimum specs plus a chip just for AI. The company unveiling the first Surface devices with the designation, powered by Qualcomm chips, not Intel. One notable AI feature is called Recall. It lets your computer remember everything you do so that you can find files, images, and websites later. More tech news tips on Rich on Tech.
Every Saturday from 1 to 4, right here on WRMN.
Anderson Japanese Gardens, ranked the highest quality Japanese garden in North America and located right in the heart of Rockford. Their mission is to open minds to a different culture while offering a place of peace and tranquility where one can find healing, renewal, inspiration, and a re-energized soul. A premier destination for corporate functions, special events, weddings, and receptions. For directions, hours, and fees, visit andersongarden.org today.
Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit benderdentalcare.com.
At Knucklehead's Trampoline and Indoor Amusement Park in Wisconsin Dells, you're in for a fun-packed family experience. There's a bit of something for everyone to enjoy, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. A trampoline park, full arcade, cosmic bowling lanes, and many amusement rides located in their 80,000 square foot indoor entertainment facility. A great attraction for team building activities or just plain fun. Open daily at the outlets at the Dells Complex in Wisconsin Dells. Contact Knuckleheads at 608-254-7332 or visit their website at knuckleheadspark.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
It is 7:08 here at WRMN, and it's the last weekend for a lot of school kids before they go back to school. And so they're anticipating their final weekend before the school year starts. And because the school year is starting, some organizations are stepping up and doing some things to help out the kids as they go back to school, and that's what the Bender Dental Feel Good Start to the Day is going to be about today. The Feel Good Start to the Day brought to you by Bender Dental, helping you start your day with a smile. Are the kids smiling? Are they happy to go back or not? I don't know, but they can get some backpacks and stuff. Let's see what the Bender Dental Feel Good Story of the Day is all about today. I have two of them actually for you. St. Charles nonprofit Big Hearts of Fox Valley hosted a packed event this Monday. Volunteers filled over 100 new backpacks with school supplies for students in St. Charles Unit District 303. Big Hearts of Fox Valley was founded in 2014 to benefit District 303 children and families facing financial hardships. District 303 social workers and administrators work with Big Hearts to identify students in need. Backpacks will be delivered to the district next week, and social workers will see that students receive them before school starts. The backpack donations are part of Big Hearts of Fox Valley's Back to School program, one of 4 programs the nonprofit runs to support District 303 students and families throughout the year. They also run the Christmas gift sponsorship program, Warm Coats, Warm Hearts, and Big Hearts throughout the year. So thanks for what you do for the kids and the people of this community. And on that note of being back to school and going back to school, Avondale Estates of Elgin is having a kickoff party this afternoon. Back to school from 3 until 5, Avondale Estates at 1670 or 1760, I'm dyslexic, 1760 Capitol Street in Elgin. You can call them if you have any questions, 847-531-6004. 847-531-6004. It is that time of the year again. Be one of the first 100 to attend today and receive back-to-school supplies. Activities for kids at the party today include an ice cream parlor, face painting, balloon twisting, crafts, music and games, and a grand prize raffle. Fun, it's a free fun event. Back to school kickoff party at Avondale Estates today, 3 until 5, 1760 Capitol Street, which is off of Randall, just to the south of I-90. It's the Bender Dental Feel Good Stories of the day. Back to school, kids. Brought to you by Bender Dental, helping you start your day with a smile. It's 7:11 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube on a fabulous Friday morning.
Oh, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Wait, hey, Mr. Postman. Hey, Mr. Postman, look and see. Whoa, yeah. Please, Mr. Postman. Whoa, yeah. There must be some word today from my boyfriend so far away. Please, Mr. Postman, look and see. Is there a letter for me? I've been standing here waiting, Mr. Postman, so patiently.
The Marvelettes starting us out this morning. First shift in the 7 o'clock hour. I'm Radio's Marky B, joined by local legend Larry Jones on a Friday morning. Taking it way back, we heard the Four Tops late last hour. And early this hour, we hear from the Marvelettes. And that's because, let's see, American singer Wanda Young was born on this day in 1943. A member and after 1965, the lead singer of the Motown all-female singing group, the Marvelettes. They gave Motown their first #1 pop single in late 1961 with this song, Please, Mr. Postman. The Beatles later recorded Please, Mr. Postman on their second studio album. And the Carpenters also did a remake of Please, Mr. Postman. It was a #1 hit in the world, too. Wanda Young died at the age of 78 back in 2021, 3 years ago. Friday morning, beautiful day here in downtown Elgin. We're on YouTube at WRMN Radio on YouTube. And as I mentioned, Larry Jones joins me now. We're jamming out to the oldies this morning. Larry Jones, some Motown, both from the Four Tops, as you walked in and sat down a little while ago, and this time from the Marvelettes.
It's good music.
Not bad, huh?
Not bad. You don't have to guess what they're singing about. You know what I mean?
Pretty simple, to the point.
That's right.
She's singing about the postman.
Waiting for a letter. Waiting for a letter.
Yeah.
And the Four Tops, ain't no woman like the one I got.
Right. She don't ask for too much.
Yeah. 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 To make her happy doesn't take a lot.
To make her happy doesn't take a lot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You better hang on to her.
7:14 on a Friday morning here at WRMN. Bright sunshine as we head into the weekend. What a marvelous Marvelettes type morning we have here in downtown Elgin as we sit this hour at 59 degrees. Fair skies, winds are out of the northwest at 5 miles an hour. Headed for a high today of about 75, lots of sunshine. And as we head into the 9th day of August, Larry, this weather is a little bit unusual on the cool side. And all through the weekend, it's going to be that way. There's lots of things going on this weekend outside, though. And for festival organizers and everybody involved, and I guess even for festival goers, especially seniors who don't like it so hot.
Right.
It's a great weekend. It's a great weekend to get out. And so here in downtown Elgin tomorrow night, it's the end of summer bash, which I saw Festival Park had a bunch of tents set up already in it, a bunch of chairs, getting ready for that tomorrow night, 5 until 9, here in just to the south of downtown Elgin at Festival Park. The downtown farmers market takes place, no longer called the farmers market, the downtown market.
They took the farmer out of it.
Right. It's more multi-purpose than
yes, it is. Right.
Fruits and vegetables and stuff. So that's going on today, and we're going to be broadcasting live from out there. Matt's going to handle his broadcast from there today. I think Dino's going to be out there.
Oh, at the farmers market?
Yeah.
I mean, at the market.
The market, yeah.
The market.
The downtown market.
Cool.
So we're going to be broadcasting from 4 to 6. I think Sonar is going to handle the first hour of the show while Matt and everybody sets up over there.
Where are they going to be, Dion?
Where?
Yeah, just in the market somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Well, look around.
Somewhere along Riverside Drive.
You can find the WRMN crew and maybe a deal on something.
Yeah.
Maybe some olives. I like olives.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like getting olives from the farmer's market. The hot sauce.
See, I don't look for that stuff. I don't need that stuff.
One of the big hot sauce vendors that's there all the time is Heatley's. And they're local.
Are they?
Yeah. I think they have an actual retail location somewhere in like Sandwich or something.
Okay.
Heatley's. And so they're going to be out there and a lot of other vendors too. And Sarah Michaels with the Downtown Neighborhood Association is going to be setting Matt up with some of the interviews with different vendors. So that'll be this afternoon. Weather will be awesome for it, right next to the river.
It would be a good time. Good time.
Yeah.
Get down, find some things maybe you won't find looking on the shelves at your neighborhood markets.
Maybe try a restaurant in downtown Elgin. There's the Mexican place, El Patio, over there.
I know. I ate there.
You did?
A couple of weeks ago, yeah. Mm-hmm. But we couldn't get on the El Patio. It was filled. We were inside.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Was it a Friday night?
Could have been. You know what?
I mean, I'd be impressed if it was filled during the week.
Yeah, I don't.
That'd be a good sign.
I don't remember what night it was. You know, they all kind of run together.
Yeah.
You know, I've told you before, when you're retired, weekends are not quite the big deal that you have right now.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I get pretty fired up about that.
You do. Yeah, you couldn't maintain this pace 7 days.
No.
Yeah. So.
No, I mean, I want a festival hop this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we're going to broadcast the parade from Hampshire on Sunday.
What time?
Noon. High noon. And we have church programming all the way until noon, and the parade starts at noon. So
you're going to switch right over. Excuse me.
Ain't no time to mess around. No pregame show, buddy.
No pregame. Going right to the marching.
Yeah.
Going right to the marching.
Right from church to the parade.
Now, is that going to be up on YouTube as well?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. YouTube on Sunday at noon on WRMN Radio on YouTube. Also right here on the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And so we look forward to being out in Hampshire. Mike Reed's really been hospitable. He's the mayor out there. He's introduced us to a few of the small businesses out there. So
a bar?
Yes, a bar. Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Thank you.
Newman's Corner Pub is the official sponsor of our broadcast on Sunday.
So first of all, if you're there for the parade, stop in. Even though it's not blazing hot, I think a post-parade beer would be pretty tasty.
Absolutely. Over at Newman's at the corner of 72 and State.
There you go.
It's like connected with a gas station.
All right. And then if you're not at the parade, going to Hampshire is not a bad road trip. Just a little drive in the country. That's all it is. Yeah.
You just take 20, and then you keep on taking
72.
Which 20 somehow becomes 72.
It's not magic, buddy. There's a turn.
You don't have to turn.
You have to turn.
No, you don't.
If you're staying on 20, you have to turn.
You go straight.
No. Then it becomes 72.
Right. That's where you want to stay. You want to stay.
But you can't say you go west on 20 or you'll end up in Marengo. We've covered this already.
But when you get to...
If you would have helped the Japanese on December 7th, they would have bombed, I don't know, their own town. I don't know.
So 20 turns to the north.
Yes.
If you keep on going west, you don't have to turn.
But you have to change roads. It has a new name.
A new name.
It's like...
Doesn't require you doing anything, though, but going straight through the
Do you go to city council meetings and demand they change the name of Lawrence Avenue on the west side to Kimball, just so it flows? We can say to people, go west on Kimball.
Well, no, but you don't have to turn. When it turns into...
But it changes names.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
We're going to have people roaming willy-nilly out there looking for a Route 20 sign, and it's not going to be there. I'm just saying.
There's like a Minutemen printing press or something right there as you're approaching that intersection.
Yes. I really think, I've thought about this, I would bet those roads really did meet, like at a strange angle there. And you have to remember, back in those days before the tollways, Route 20 was a major west road. Major. I'm sure that they had to change that because the traffic was just too much there.
Yeah, if you take Route 20 all the way to like Rockford or something, it kind of twists and turns along I-90 a little bit. It's kind of on one side of 90 for a while.
And then back over, right?
Yeah. That's not a bad alternative to taking 90.
No, it's all about your time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about your time. I always like to go out that way. I used to ride my motorcycle, I used to go out on Route 72,
right?
Go west, and then cross at Savannah, and then go up the west side of the Mississippi, and then catch 20 and come back.
Yeah.
That's pretty country. It's like being in Southern Illinois. You don't think you're in Illinois.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Illinois-Iowa border this morning, as a matter of fact.
Were you?
I was thinking maybe Savannah needs to be on the camping trip list sometime this fall.
You can get over there. What is that called? Is it the Palace? What do they call the state park there? I don't know if it's
Palisades?
Palisades State Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought about that because I was out talking to Gina during the beginning of the show this morning, and for some reason, I have no idea how the conversation got here, but when we were in the Prairie du Chien Blues Fest a couple of weeks ago, and we went over the river into McGregor, Iowa, we had stopped at a small little bar in McGregor, and we're chatting with some lady, and she asked us where we were from, and we said Elgin, and I think we said Illinois, but she pointed out to us there's also an Elgin in Iowa, and it was about 45 minutes from where we were at that time. So we were closer to the Elgin, Iowa, than we actually were to Elgin, Illinois at that time.
Right. How big of a space, how far do you need to be away before you stop saying, you start saying like Elgin? What's the distance before you start saying Chicago?
Illinois? Yeah.
I mean, and it's like that everywhere. I mean, when I'm in Florida, people always say, where are you from? I don't say. Now, there are people who are here, that live there, then you can tell them. But you don't really, if they ask where, they don't want you to get down to, well, you go west 32 miles and you take a jog and you do. I think that gives them the idea.
I don't think you have to go, and this is not to bring Elgin, Illinois down in any
And
way,
we never would.
But I don't think you have to go too far before you have to explain where Elgin is.
Of course.
It's amazing. People that have lived their whole life in Elgin, Illinois, and you kind of probably assume that everybody knows where Elgin, Illinois is.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah. But even though Elgin, Illinois is the 6th largest city in the state of Illinois,
yes,
if you're outside the state of Illinois, you more than likely haven't heard of Elgin, Illinois, or there's a good chance you haven't.
There's people from the south suburbs that haven't heard of Elgin, Illinois.
Yeah.
They haven't. They just...
But I mean, people could say the same thing to me, like, let's just take the state of Utah.
Yeah.
Or something.
Something.
There could be like the 3rd biggest city in Utah.
Yeah.
No idea what that is.
No idea.
And in fact, maybe I can't even name you 3 cities in Utah. But the people that live in the 3rd largest city of Utah probably think, we live in a big town. This is the way life is. Everybody knows who we are.
That's right. No, I agree.
That's crazy.
Well,
that is crazy, Larry.
That's just crazy talk. That's all that is.
It's 7:24 here at WRMN. If you want to call us in the next hour, 15 minutes.
And you should. You really should. I know I say this every time I'm in here. If they don't call us, they leave it totally in our hands, and they may not like it.
I know, because we have an easy default today.
We really do. We got a couple, but There's no question about it. We'll go somewhere that a lot of you don't want us to go.
We have an easy sports default today.
Exactly. Yeah, and
you want us to talk about the White Sox?
And we're comfy there. It's not a lot of work for us. It's not extra work for us to go there.
No.
We're there. We chatted about it before we started.
We did.
For free. We talked about it for free.
Yeah, it was just casual locker room talk.
That's right.
Studio talk off the air about the White Sox and the fact that they made a managerial change. We'll talk to Tim Calderwood about that at 8:40 this morning.
Exactly. We'll see if he's on the short list.
To become the White Sox new manager?
Exactly.
Well, maybe I should save this theory, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised if the guy that is sitting in the seat right now, Grady Sizemore, he's 42 years old. He was hired as some sort of a minor league instructor for the White Sox this year.
Right.
Chris Getz, the general manager of the White Sox, is also in his 40s,
right?
I believe. And so even though they're kind of pinning the interim title on Grady Sizemore, I'm not sure I'd be so surprised if he didn't get the full time, depending on what happens in the final 45 games this season, which they're going to lose most of them. But, I mean, if he looks like he's running the team well and things like that, then I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a chance at the full-time job.
The only reason I would, believe me, history's on your side, Mark. Believe me, history's on your. Their nationwide search doesn't go any further than the corporate phone book. I mean, they don't go out for anything. Except yesterday, Getz said they were going to bring someone who's currently in baseball.
Oh, he did?
Currently in baseball outside the White Sox organization.
Currently in baseball.
Currently in baseball.
Could he be an announcer? Does that count?
No, I don't think so. No, currently in uniform. Could be a soldier. I don't, but,
no.
Yeah, but outside the organization.
Because, I don't know why this name popped into my mind.
Yeah.
I guess because I'm a Cubs guy. I was thinking, would Joe Girardi's name surface?
I don't think so. I think he's out. I think he's out.
He's on the outs now?
Yeah, and same with, what's his name? The guy who was there last, the catcher from the World Series team.
From
the Cubs,
David Ross?
Yeah.
I never even thought about David Ross.
Oh, I did.
David Ross with the White Sox?
I'm just saying.
Well,
I mean, it's not like he's working.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think so. They swap players occasionally. They don't do a lot of at the top.
They should bring Ricky Renteria back.
Yeah, I don't know. If I was Ricky, I would only bring an overnight bag if they asked me to come back. Can you imagine going back there after what they did to him?
No, yeah.
Twice.
Well, the Cubs did it to him first.
Well, that's true, too. Yeah.
The Cubs let Renteria go when they hired Joe Madden.
That's right.
Right on the verge of winning.
Yes.
And then
I put it all together. Yeah, I know. We're going to give it to Joe.
Hey, Joe, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, we need a closer.
Thanks for a job well done, Ricky. And then the same thing happened with the White Sox.
Exactly.
He took the White Sox to the level of almost like they were there.
Yes.
And so they moved on from him and went to Tony La Russa instead.
Yeah.
Twice he's been, jilted at the altar?
He has been jilted at the altar. And I was excited that Tony didn't get to come back again. I almost thought, you know what, there's only a few games.
Tony can handle 45 games.
Yeah. He's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, see, did anybody call yet?
No.
Then they're get what they get.
Yes.
No.
Pedro goes, his career record with the White Sox, 89 wins and 190 losses. I'm not sure when he's ever going to get a managerial job again, if he does.
No, he can't. He might get back as a bench coach or something. I don't see it. I don't know how you could overcome that. Now, there's a chance that everybody else in the league recognizes what a dysfunctional organization that is,
right,
and thinks, you can't put that on him. You can't put that on him. He did, how many games did he win? He did that in spite of them. So, who knows? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, there may be an organization 5 years down the road.
Oh, sure.
10 years down the road.
Think about these guys that get recycled.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you're not, they just know the name. They don't know whether you were a good manager or not.
Well, if he kind of comes through the ranks again with another team, becomes the bench coach at some point, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then that manager steps away, and they say, well, Pedro, he's been through the worst of the worst.
That's right.
And he's had the experience now. Maybe he's now in a position to take over our team.
Right.
That could happen, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Fire marshal walks by on this Friday morning. Not the fire marshal, but our fire marshal.
Our fire marshal.
The fire marshal might be on the Highland Bridge.
Not anymore. That's over now.
Yeah. It was a long ordeal yesterday over there.
Well, a hazmat spill into the river.
Yeah.
Big. That's big.
Yeah, I could see the little film of diesel on top of the water there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not good for the fishes.
No, it's not good for the fishes.
7:30.
In the old days, you wouldn't have been able to tell that spill from everything else that was floating in it. In the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Oh, it was terrible. It was, yeah. Terrible. Come a long way. Believe me, no bald eagles ever nested along that river at that time.
Well,
they would have said, no.
That was just Woodruff and Edwards was over there.
Well, everybody had, there was Plants North. There was South Elgin, Kerber's Packing was there. I don't remember them having a lot of filters to keep whatever they had from going out into the river either. I think for years people settled along the river for a water supply, and then they polluted it with all their other extra stuff, and so I don't know. Anyway, it's much better now. Much.
Well, where I saw the film was like right behind the Pace bus station, where I was looking down over the bridge.
Wonder if that's where did the leak start at? Do we know that? You were on the scene, Mark.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Did you interview anybody?
I did talk to Chief Rob Sagan. They were still looking for the leak at the time.
Oh.
But they had put some absorbent stuff in the water.
Trying to glob it up.
Yeah.
That's a technical term in hazmat.
Glob it up?
Glob it up. Yeah.
They were working on it. But he's going to join me for a couple minutes, I think, right at the beginning of Fridays with the Finest today.
Oh, great. So you'll have...
To get a quick recap on what happened.
So if you have an interest in this, you need to stay. Well, you should stay with my friend Chief Lally anyway.
Yeah, she's not going to be here today.
What?
Yeah, she called off on me.
Really?
Yeah. She said either Larry takes over or I'm not coming anymore.
Yeah, I know. She's asked me to a coup. She's begged me for that. I told her I can't do it to my buddy Mark. I can't. It'll break him.
Well, Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler hasn't made those demands yet, so he's still going to come and do the show today.
All right. I'm sure you guys will be fine.
Chief Rob Sagan will join us for a couple of minutes to give us a recap on the big diesel fuel.
The big
leak and where it might have come from. Where could that come from?
Anything.
Storm drains, he said. But what would cause the diesel fuel to leak into the storm drain?
Could be anything. People, sometimes there'll be like a line, a fuel line that comes loose. Once it gets into the storm drain, it comes to the river. That's what it does. So you don't know.
Got to be hard to look for something like that.
Yeah, because you have to, it's almost like follow the watershed. And you really almost have to go up Highland and go to Jackson and see if there's anything in the storm drain there. And then you can work your way, It's hard. It's really hard.
They had the manhole covers pulled up and stuff, but how do you even go down there to see? I mean, can you go in there physically and see?
I don't know. They might be able to just get samples. They might be able to do that.
I think that's probably what they were doing.
Yeah, but yeah, it just happens. And people, in their naivety, don't understand. I think sometimes when they have a waste, whether it's gasoline in your garage or whatever, you think, well, if it gets down there, it'll get treated. It'll be not storm. Storm doesn't get treated. It just heads to the river. That's it. Stormwater. And when you put stuff in it, you're polluting.
So if you took... No, it'd have to go a long way, right? And I was going to say, if you decided to pour a bunch of diesel fuel into your sewer, onto the street out front, in front of your house, and it goes down into the storm drain, it's going to make its way towards the river. But if, let's just say I did it on my block, that's a long way for it to go. It would probably be diluted along the way, right?
Yeah, there used to be a saying that dilution is the solution in a lot of those things, that by the time it would get to it would be so diluted. But yeah, it's sooner or later, a particle of it will end up in the river or a creek or whatever, and then end up in the Gulf of Mexico.
But if it was visible to the naked eye like it was yesterday, then that means it had to probably happen right along there.
For it to stay together.
Yeah.
To be together. Yeah, I would think so. We only had a couple of those things, and that was the fire fellas thing. Those when they happened, the hazmat thing. That's in their job description. They're pretty good at it too.
Yeah, I think that's firefighters are like multi-purpose people. They don't just put out fires. I mean, they're emergency. They're
not just for firefighting anymore,
right?
Yeah,
paramedics. They know all about chemicals and hazmat and bombs and all those kinds of things, right?
Well, no.
I mean, maybe not bombs, but
no, probably not bombs.
But like when they had the scare of maybe some poison or something being put into something at the police station, a couple of months ago, the fire department was there.
They're hazmat people. They also, took on CO detectors when they got invented. When they go off, we'll come over.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a fire, but we'll come over. We're your friends.
Yeah.
We'll help you. So.
All right. Well, we'll get a quick report from the chief right about 9 o'clock this morning.
See that? Tune in, WRMN.
Yeah.
When you want the facts, this is your place.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
We're striving for all the time. I mean, yeah, you're right, Larry. It's 7:36 here at WRMN. 847-931-1410. The first shift call to order is sponsored by Comfort Keepers of Elgin. Comfort Keepers of Elgin is a leading provider of in-home, non-medical care for seniors and other adults in need of assistance with daily activities. So if you're looking for a service like that, consider Comfort Keepers as an option. Taking it to the Image 360 information line this morning, we say good morning to Linda Carter. Checking in.
Hi, Linda.
She opened the office doors this morning at 12:02 on the Image 360 information line. She says, welcome back to Friday. Everyone have a blessed day and weekend. Sending about 19 prayers to the prayer scoreboard this morning, and that'll kick us up to 47.
That's a lot of prayers.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot.
Comforting Kathleen checks in. CK.
We've already seen her.
Yeah. And they're out, I think they're out walking around a little bit now. Maybe they went to a coffee shop.
That could be.
Good morning, Mark, Larry, and all the first shifters. Wishing you all a wonderful and safe Friday and weekend from CK. 8 more prayers for the prayer scoreboard. The commander's been kind of quiet this week, but he sends a message to our text line. He's been quiet to me, but I'm sure he's been busy in his own life.
Of course.
But he wants to let us know that tonight they're going to have baked haddock at the American Legion Post 57 fish fry, 11:30 until 1 today, and then again this afternoon from 4 until 7. Baked haddock orders must be placed before 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh.
You got an hour and 22 minutes and 8 seconds.
So if you think you're going to have a taste for baked haddock
tonight,
you better let them know now.
Give them a call, 847-741-8143.
Might be a little bit more healthy for you than fried.
Yeah. 847-741-8143. Operators are standing by.
Yes, they are.
Your haddock operators.
Haddock. That's right.
To take your haddock order.
That's right.
For the American Legion fish fry tonight. Dine-in and carry-outs are available. See you soon. Have a great weekend. All right, so think about the American Legion later for dinner if you want to. Sensational Shelley checks in. She's the queen of positivity. And she says, good morning, Mark and Larry. What a beautiful day it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend as well. Hope to see you all able to get out, are able to get out and enjoy it. 10 prayers from the sensational one, Sensational Shelley. It is 7:38 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. (847-931-1410). That's the number John Prigge has just called. So if you can hold on through this news break, we'll take his call on the other side as we continue the first shift on a Friday morning here on WRMN.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzy. In Elgin, the race for City Council is heating up with petitions now available for 4 open seats. Interested candidates can visit the city clerk's office in City Hall, room 202, to secure their petition. This Saturday from noon until 2, the Lego Olympics are taking place at the Elgin Community College. You can celebrate the 2024 Summer Olympics with an epic Lego building contest. Build an Olympic-themed creation with family and friends. You'll have 2 hours to build, and entries will be judged by ECC staff. In Elgin, officials debunked rumors regarding a search and rescue operation along the Fox River that, according to many, had happened yesterday. Highland Avenue instead was closed from Douglas Avenue to Route 31 due to a minor fuel leak, which remains under investigation. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy, the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Day off for both the Cubs and the White Sox on Thursday, but the White Sox fired manager Pedro Greifal after a 28-89 start. He was at the helm for less than 2 seasons. The Sox recently snapped a 21-game losing skid. Bench coach Charlie Montoyo, third base coach Eddie Rodriguez, and assistant hitting coach Mike Tosar also let go. Grady Sizemore will take over as interim manager for the remainder of the season. He'll be joined by bench coach Doug Sisson, third base coach Justin Gersheli, and hitting coach Mike Gellinger. The Cubs and White Sox begin a series tonight in South Chicago. The Cubs have won 2 in a row in 6 of 10 and sit 5 games out of a wild card in the National League. The Bears open up the preseason tomorrow at Buffalo. The team's starters will take some snaps, including top overall pick quarterback Caleb Williams.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Getting ready for back to school at Macy's is all about fresh starts and new looks, making it one of summer's greatest hits. Save on must-haves like cargos, mini dresses, jeans, and more that'll hold up from the first day of school to the last. Plus, you'll find all the top quality brands you love, like Nike, Jordan, Levi's,
Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit benderdentalcare.com. Is it noon already? Take your lunch hour up a notch with Out to Lunch from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on WRMN 1410 a.m. Unwind with the perfect blend of soothing sounds and lighthearted conversations that'll make every bite taste better. Whether you're in office or out on the town, let us serve up the best in radio company. Stream on the go with our app on Google and Apple. Because lunchtime is your time. Out to Lunch every day from 12 to 2 on WRMN 1410 a.m. The talk of the town.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
What makes a great pizza restaurant? The obvious answer, great pizza. A local favorite since 1983, Pizza Pub Wisconsin Dells has been serving up the best pizza in the Dells. Year after year after year. Not hungry for pizza? Try the homemade lasagna, chicken parmesan, burgers, salads, and an extensive kids menu. Or take a trip or two to the all-you-care-to-eat lunch buffet. Pizza Pub, walking distance to water parks and hotels in Wisconsin Dells. Searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interest at heart? Join KCT Credit Union, where they're more than just a bank. They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. Each account insured up to $250,000 by member's choice. This institution is not federally insured.
August 9th, 1975, the Bee Gees started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Jive Talkin'. The group's second U.S. number 1 made it number 5 in the U.K. It's not a bad song, Larry Jones.
Sometimes it's like you almost feel like you shouldn't admit it.
Oh, yeah.
But I kind of like the Bee Gees.
I know.
I didn't like that whole disco thing. I mean, I don't know why. But I liked the music that went along with it.
Very unique, very different.
Yes.
A lot of good beat, good rhythm to it all.
Exactly right. And you know, whether Donna Summer that kind of came along in that same time, and I like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, there was a time there was no way I was allowed to like the Bee Gees.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't admit it.
Cool young guy.
Too cool.
But as I've gotten older and don't care what people think anymore, yeah, I like.
Well, you care what people think. I can tell that in you.
Really?
Oh, sure. You're not a rebel. Maybe you are at home. You're not here. Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a rebel, I think.
Do you think so? Everybody likes to think they are. I think.
You think?
That's what I think. Everybody thinks that the man will not keep me down. Yeah, exactly.
7:48 here at WRMN. Well, we're going to do some jive talking right now, Larry Jones.
Really?
Yep.
We got a jive talker?
On the line.
All righty.
847-931-1410. John Prigge always likes to go jive talking. Good morning, John.
You won't believe this, but I will tell you anyway. When I went to Elgin Community College in the fall of 1976,
yes.
I was working on the school newspaper, and I had a column in sports called Sport Talkin'.
Oh,
no kidding.
See, that makes
How about
sense.
that?
That makes sense to me, John. You like sports.
Yeah.
I get that, though. I like that.
I thought you were going to say
But
jive talk, and I was
Yeah.
going to be like, wow, well, that's pretty ironic.
That is, yeah.
I got half of it from there instead of jive talking, sport talking.
I kind of like that. Did you just cover Spartan sports, or did you cover everything?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
At that time, it was tennis great Illy Nastasi. Remember that name?
Sure.
He was really throwing temper tantrums, worse than
Jimmy
what's
Connor?
his name?
Like Jimmy
and
Connor.
McEnroe.
Yeah, and McEnroe.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah, Jimmy
Right.
Connor. Yeah.
Right. So that's a little local home scenario. But I wanted to call and say two things real quick. One, I'm really happy to see the Daily Herald is covering high school sports, specifically football. They've got some really interesting columns about area coaches coming back. South Elgin's football coach went to Niles North, I think, in 2017 to coach there, and now he's back at the Storm.
Really?
So, yeah. I think I hope I'm going to pronounce his name. It's Dragan Tianic.
Yes.
Remember that name, Larry?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was the South Elgin coach.
And then he left. And then he came back.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Went to Niles North.
Didn't he?
Talk about a commute. Yeah.
No, he just left South Elgin after last season.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So they have a new coach this year.
Do they?
I don't know who the new coach is, but Tianic, I think, left.
I don't know that. You know, I used to pay a lot of attention to South Elgin. Now I don't pay any attention. So.
Is that not what you're saying, John?
Well, let me take a quick look here.
That's right.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I still got the Bee Gees handy. Let's see.
Cue the Bee Gees.
Yeah, there was. I'll find it here in a minute, but it's not really that important. But he is one of technically the new coach. Is one of 5 new coaches for the Elgin. I'm sorry, the Elgin area. It's Pat Pistorio. I'm sorry about that. He was the head coach at South Elgin from 13 to 17, and he had a 29-19 record and made the playoffs twice. And he replaces Dragan Tianic, who took over for Pistorio in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pistoric.
So I'm glad.
Yeah, Pat Pistoric.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm glad. Have you guys finalized anything for football, Mark? A schedule or an intention or anything new?
We had a little bit of a meeting yesterday about it. Actually, I think the plan right now is I think we have a few Hampshire football games that are on the schedule. But 4 games of Hampshire football, I believe, is what's being targeted right now. But I don't know beyond that if we have Elgin area teams targeted on our schedule or not. I haven't really been a part of that whole inside thing so much, but I found it's about the Hampshire broadcast yesterday.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that if you want to get people, and let's be on the business side of radio for a second, advertisers want to know people are hearing their commercials. And the only way that's going to happen is if people are listening to games and attending games and being a part of a spirit for the school. You're not going to find that at Elgin High School anymore, as sad as it seems. You're not going to find that at Larkin High School. I experienced it firsthand, both the rush and the downfall, but going to Hampshire and some smaller schools, being west, you may want to consider Central High School in Burlington.
Yeah.
They've got fans in the stands. They've got bratwurst cooking.
Same with Huntley. Same thing at Huntley.
I think we have the Huntley-Hampshire game.
The Whippers. The Whippers.
Yeah.
That's the Hampshire team.
Yeah, I can't remember what Huntley is now. Isn't
the
that
Huntley
crazy?
Honeys.
The Red Raiders.
That's not it.
No, the Red Raiders.
I knew it was Red something. It's not the Honeys.
They used to be the Redskins.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And then they changed to Red Raiders.
Yeah, the Red Raiders.
Wow.
I don't guess Raiders can get offended. You know that.
No,
Yeah,
no.
you have no
Raider
status.
Communities are speaking up.
That's right, exactly.
But you also want to consider, too, maybe a St. Charles North or St. Charles East. My daughter attended St. Charles North, and she was in the band, so I went to every home game. That was like a small college experience, you know? I mean, they had like 15 or 20 parents just working the refreshment stand or working the hot dog stop there. And the band was 4 and 5 times larger than some of the rosters for the football team that St. Charles North was playing.
I know. That's really something, John. I don't remember going to a North game, but I remember going to a Geneva game years ago, and it was the very same thing there. I mean, you had to park. The lots were full. You had to park over through the neighborhood. The stands were filled. It reminded me kind of the old Elgin high school sports scenario, kind of, where it was a big deal. It was a big deal when they were playing.
It was. You're right. It was a very big deal playing when Elgin would play football at Memorial Field.
Right.
Because if you look north, you have Route 19 from Memorial Field. There used to be people in cars that would pull off the side of the road on 19 to look down into Elgin High to get the score. They had flashers. I'd seen officers moving people to get off the street because you couldn't park.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly those days are gone.
Sure.
But it's good to maybe, Mark, expand out to the west a little bit, because one of the most I have found one of the most valuable things about doing live sports in this internet era is that you always have it to rely on later. You don't have to put a tape recorder that took 4 C batteries to record off of the radio. It was archived on the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of the fans and families and things and kids, the players themselves that go to the game might want to watch the game later on YouTube or whatever. So it's kind of cool. I mean, you may not watch it live when it happens, but it's something nice to be able to go back and watch.
It is,
yeah.
and hopefully for generations, because I do some work at Elgin Community College, and I see a lot of incoming freshmen, and when they leave to go to another university, or if they're done with their pursuit of college education, they come back to the event center at ECC. And when I talk to them, they always say, I wish I was still here. I mean, I hated the practices. We had to run here and do this. I didn't like that in the beginning. But if I could find another year of eligibility, I would come back to ECC. So it goes into the past, because your life changes when you leave school. Someone, they get married more often when you're not a student, and you have kids and everything else, and it's always a good thing. But
life seems to slow things down. That life will get you. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I just wanted to say something about the Fox River. Larry, in 1979, when you were breaking up fights in South Elgin,
yeah,
five men came to did an experiment on the Fox River water in 1979, and what they did to show the cleanliness and the product or the service that they were offering out of a company in Streamwood would maybe get you a little queasy. And what happened in 79 was they 5 guys came and they drank Fox River water that had been sorted or filtered through a sock.
Really?
Hopefully it was a new sock, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Actually, in my mind, it would be better even if it was a dirty sock.
Yep, and that was the trivia question I had for a while.
Wow.
The 5 guys drank it to prove claims that the Streamwood Laboratory was doing something about cleanliness, and they thought, hey, let's take this sock down to the river and hold it up like a fish and then stick your yap underneath it and see what happens.
All right. Well,
Pleasant thought. Yeah.
Listen, one more thing before we let you go, John. Maybe next week or something. I heard him talk about petitions for the city council. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about the city council elections coming up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Gee, you'll have to twist my arm on that one.
I know you're going to play hard to get on this, John. I know that, but we'll get it out of you.
All right, John. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, too, guys. Bye.
All right, we're going to take this top of the hour break. Come back with more. Another hour of the first shift is on the way. It's a Friday morning. I'm Mark, and he's Larry, and we're back in a moment.
Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus is intent in their commitment to open doors and support those who strive for excellence. Too many people have been made to feel that higher education isn't a place for them, that it is someone else's dream. But Columbia College of Missouri has changed all that. With individualized attention and ongoing support, Columbia College knows a future built by you is a future built for you. Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus, your new starts now. Visit ccis.edu.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Massiano's Pizza and Pastaria of Elgin. There is one inexhaustible aspect of everyday life that never dulls, namely the simple pleasure of eating and drinking. Massiano's wants to make sure that this is the best part of your day. Visit Massianos.com and sign up to view their special offers all year long. Delivery, carry out, or dine in, enjoy it anyway, because life is good at Massiano's.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 8 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments. This Saturday from noon until 2, the Lego Olympics are taking place at the Elgin Community College. You can celebrate the 2024 Summer Olympics with an epic Lego building contest. Build an Olympic-themed creation with family and friends. You'll have 2 hours to build, and entries will be judged by ECC staff. In Elgin, officials debunked rumors regarding a search and rescue operation along the Fox River that, according to many, had happened yesterday. Highland Avenue instead was closed from Douglas Avenue to Route 31 due to a minor fuel leak, which remains under investigation. In Elgin, the race for City Council is heating up with petitions now available for 4 open seats. Interested candidates can visit the city clerk's office in City Hall, room 202, to secure their petition. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Oh, Downy in the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. Team USA men's basketball will play for the gold after rallying to beat Serbia on Thursday, 95-91 the final. The U.S. surged back from a 17-point deficit. LeBron James had a triple-double with 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Team USA will take on France this Saturday in a rematch of the 2021 Olympic final. France defeated Germany 73-69 to advance to the gold medal game. In the men's 110-meter hurdles, the USA's Grant Holloway took home the gold. Daniel Roberts won the silver. In the women's 400-meter hurdles, the U.S.'s Sydney McLaughlin-Lavrone took the gold. Anna Cockrell took the silver. NFL preseason action Thursday, the Giants beat the Lions 14-3, while the Patriots beat the Panthers 17-3. Today, the Falcons take on the Dolphins, while the Steelers host the Texans, and the Eagles visit the Ravens.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Getting ready for back to school at Macy's is all about fresh starts and new looks, making it one of summer's greatest hits. Save on must-haves like cargos, mini dresses, jeans, and more that'll hold up from the first day of school to the last. Plus, you'll find all the top quality brands you love, like Nike, Jordan, Levi.
Attention all burger enthusiasts and game aficionados. Celebrate a century of excellence at Mott's Lounge, proudly serving the community for 100 years under 5 generations of passionate ownership. Sink your teeth into our hand-pressed fresh burgers bursting with flavor, crafted just the way you like them. And while you're here, enjoy our exclusive drink specials, perfect for toasting to our milestone anniversary. Plus, challenge your luck with our state-of-the-art gaming machines, adding an extra thrill to your visit. Join us at Mott's Lounge and be a part of history in the making. Here's to another century of great food, fun, and memories. Mott's Lounge, where every visit is a celebration. For more information, visit us online at mottslounge.com.
And we're back with WCK, Comfort Keepers Radio. So, Julianne, what got you interested in Comfort Keepers?
Mom passed. We were concerned about Dad being alone.
And Phil, what's it like to have a caregiver around?
Well, it's great. They help me get ready for the day and drive me wherever I need to go.
And I heard you guys are cooking together, too.
I'm learning.
It's been a huge relief knowing someone's there.
Learn more at comfortkeepers.com.
Friday. Welcome back to the show. This is the Spinners. Billy Henderson, a singer born in 1939 on this date. He called it quits in 2007, not from the Spinners, but from life. He died in 2007. Billy Henderson, American rhythm and blues vocal group, the Detroit Spinners. They had the 1980 U.S. #2 single, this song, Working My Way Back to You. All right, welcome back to the show. Another good song. Hey, Larry Jones.
Hey, man.
Like that song, don't you?
I do like that. Yeah. I like all those. We talked before we came on. I like all those groups.
Don't know why you would not like this song.
Who wouldn't like that song?
Why would you not like this song?
Exactly.
Got a problem.
Hey, I saw the director, the boss, he answered the John Priggy sports question.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. On YouTube, you mean?
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
Who Dean DeLaley?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have other bosses?
No. Well, we're Boss Man, who's sitting outside.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do.
I'll be a little more specific now. Yes, the boss, Dean DeLaley, responded to John Priggy's question about high school sports.
Oh, well, let's review Dino's comments right now. He starts off this morning with God Morning FRV, first shifters, our guy Larry and Marky B. Always good to wake up to the morning show to see what's happening in the area. Beautiful weekend seems to be upon us, so many events going on, and we're going to broadcast live. I'm adding my own to Dean's comment here.
Yes.
From the Hampshire Parade on Sunday at noon.
There'll be a big parade party out there. Big.
Yeah, and thanks again to Newman's Corner Pub. Yes. They're sponsoring, and I believe we're beginning a relationship with Sue at Newman's Corner Pub. She's huge into Hampshire.
Great.
And that's, what John was saying about the small towns. They love living there, and they rally around each other. They're a part of all of their events.
Really do. I'm seeing that more and more.
We've been to Hampshire and met a handful of people now, and every one of them seems like the happiest person in the world to be living in Hampshire.
I know. Not that there aren't happy people in Elgin. It's just there might be more in Hampshire.
But capita.
Per capita, yes. The happiness per capita off the scale.
There's more happy people in Elgin, but Elgin's 120,000 compared to...
Yeah, exactly.
So Dino, thanks, Sue. I had a great conversation with her yesterday from Newman's, and she's going to be a part of our broadcast, too. She's going to jump off of her float, because they're in the parade, of course. Yeah. Because she loves Hampshire.
Yes.
And so they're going to be in the parade, and then she's going to hop off the float, come join us on the microphone.
That's great. She should be careful. You don't want any casualties.
Right. Hopefully the float's not too high off the ground.
Yeah.
Or it'll stop for a minute so she can get out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Dean says, let's see. We are working with Jeff Myers on the football program. He had some solid contacts, and they reached out to him. We will be expanding it soon. It's the Fox River Valley Sports Network getting underway here at WRMN.
You heard it here.
The Fox River Valley Sports Network. Yeah, Jeff Myers is going to be a part of the play-by-play. And we have Marcus Mack, who's doing some sports for us now.
He's a nice guy,
isn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mark does a Sunday show. Marcus does right now. Sundays at noon, preempted by the parade this Sunday. But soon his show is going to move to Saturday because you can't be doing a Sunday show at noon during the football season, Larry.
No, it doesn't work. Priorities, even with the great show. People are going to be off.
If you're
somewhere.
a sports fan.
Yeah, you got to.
You're going to be watching the Bears at noon.
You just got to. Yeah.
So, so Marcus Mack's show is going to move to Saturday. We're still trying to figure out the time slot for him, but that'll happen in a few weeks.
Right. He's a good, upbeat guy.
He's going to be on with me every Thursday morning at 8:30 for about 5 minutes.
Just kind of a sports, this week in sports?
What he's going to talk about on his show. And,
oh, cool. That's great.
Yeah. So that'll start next Thursday morning at 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have some Hampshire broadcasts. And the contact, I think, that Jeff Myers had out in Hampshire is a fellow classmate of mine.
Really?
At Elgin High School. What do we have now? We can't eat all these sweets, Larry.
I can't be. Thanks, Raj.
Yeah, thanks, Raj.
Thanks, Raj. He's kind of like our health consultant.
For bad health.
I know.
What in the world is that?
I think it's German chocolate cake.
Oh.
I hope.
Great.
I know.
Dino put the big boss man down on the volunteers list, by the way. He says he's in for September the 7th to help us with whatever we need.
Oh.
The big boss man is.
Okay.
So, September 7th, of course, is America's First Responders Day.
Yes, at beautiful Panton Mill Park. And it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I was down there yesterday. Went down.
You were?
Got invited down to take a tour of the new police public safety facility.
I talked to...
looking cool.
I interacted with a couple of our band musicians for this festival this year, yesterday on the phone. One of which was Jimmy Nick, who plays the blues.
Uh-huh. You've told me about him before. I look forward to that.
He'll be on at 3:30 on Saturday, September the 7th. And I just wanted to make sure all these band guys still had us on their calendar and all that. So
right.
I checked in with Jimmy. He's like, yeah, I'm fired up. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, Jimmy, I have Blues Day Tuesday on my morning show. If you ever want to come down one day and maybe just play a song or two on the station, maybe we could do that.
Blues Day Tuesday.
I said,
I have a bit of a blues background myself. Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I've been to Mississippi.
Yes.
Been to Mississippi, Jimmy Nick. I actually texted him when I was in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, because I thought he'd be proud to know that I went to a blues fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you enjoyed that?
Oh, yeah.
I like blues. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not a jazz fan. I don't like the improvisation that goes with it. I like structure a little bit more, but I like blues a lot.
So I said to Jimmy, I know about you musicians. You may not want to come down to the morning show because you guys aren't always up in the morning. And his response was, ha, 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 ha. I am sometimes. So sometimes he does get up in the morning, and maybe he can come down. So you're not holding back on that piece of cake, are you, Larry? We already had one donut this morning, and you refused the second donut, but now that you've had the cake forced in front of your mouth.
I don't want to. Mrs. Bossman made it.
She did?
I don't want her to think that we like the Sunshine Band's donuts more than we liked her cake. I'm just trying to include everyone.
You're all inclusive.
I'm kind of a feel-good.
It's all about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That's right. I'm kind of a feel-good guy, Mark. And if I have to get fatter to do it, by golly, I'll do it.
It's 8:14 here at WRMN.
It's hard for me because it has coconut, and I don't like coconut.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
But I'll eat.
I'm working my way through it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because we care.
You're a team player.
That's exactly right. If I have to eat coconut for the team, I'll take a coconut.
Right. 8:15 here at WRMN. I see that Dan Maloney's on our YouTube feed.
I saw that, talking about
AJ Przynski.
Now, yesterday on the, I can't remember. I can't think the ESPN Radio 1000.
Yeah.
They interviewed Chris Getz.
Chris Getz, the general manager.
And they asked him if AJ fits the parameters, and he said no, he does not.
Is that right?
I think AJ's a little crossways with the Sox. They let him go as an ambassador. And I think he's been a little too critical, and I don't think you get to, I don't think when you're an ambassador, I'm not sure you get to be that way. I don't think they think ambassadors should be, like, talking bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, those former players that are hired as analysts and stuff like that for the team they played for, they think, and probably rightfully so, that the fans want to hear their real thoughts on the team. Yet they've been hired by a network or something that really doesn't want them to give their real thoughts.
Right.
But then when they do give their real thoughts, they put themselves in jeopardy of things like if they wanted to be the manager of that team eventually.
Right, but aren't they, in fact, aren't the on-air personalities, aren't they employees of the team?
Yeah.
I think they are.
You know, unless you're working for the network.
Yeah, the network. And the network, even if it's the same guys doing a network game, they can be a little bit more honest with their opinion. I mean, you can tell, though. I mean, I think Steve Stone, he tries to be as honest as, pardon me, I'm still trying to get a coconut loose in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not going there with my cake right now.
And you shouldn't. No. I shouldn't have. Anyway, I think he tries to be honest without being so negative. But, when you're, I don't know how they keep those games going.
Oh, I know.
I would be saying, we're going to show a rerun of the 2005 Bears. We'll see you at the end of the night. Have a good night.
We're switching to WNBA basketball now.
Exactly right. Or maybe some Olympics. We don't know. But it won't be this because I can't stand this.
Steve Stone's been around a long time.
Yes, he has.
Long time. And so for a crotchety old man like Steve Stone to try to keep an upbeat attitude with a team that's 28-89.
I know.
That's impossible.
It is. And I think, I don't think he enjoys it. I don't think he enjoys it. But he also has a commitment. So I'm telling you, if Hawk Harrelson was still doing the games, there'd be dead air.
He'd have jumped out of the press box by now.
He'd be like, he'd be just crazy.
8:18 here at WRMN. Good morning to Hector and Jeremiah.
And where's Uncle Boom Boom?
He's at the house.
Okay.
But Hector and Jeremiah just went by.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
And I hadn't seen them in a while. School year is just about to be started again.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll see you next week for U46. And I guess many of the schools. Mm-hmm. And we'll get to see Northwest West and Northwest Wesley Junior the second again, probably on a regular basis.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
You know those guys?
Yep.
8:18 here at WRMN.
Does Junior change schools next year? Did his...
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sure Wes will let us know.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that something was going to change with them. Maybe not.
On the White Sox, I just want to say this now because I probably forget it during our sports segment this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking last night, they won a game, and then they lost another game, and then they fired Pedro Grifol. I wonder if Chris Getz, who fired Grifol, they lost 14 in a row earlier this year. They started this long losing streak. And I wonder, like, after about 7 in a row this time, if Getz was like, all right, this is it. I'm firing him as soon as this losing streak is over. I don't want to fire him in the middle of a losing streak because then the new manager would have to take over in the middle of a losing streak.
Could be. Plus, I don't think they like to fire managers on the road. They were on the road.
Yeah.
Now they're back. I don't know. I don't know what. I think I said this to you, but I was thinking it yesterday. It's like firing the captain of the Titanic as it's already hit the iceberg and it's sinking. Who cares? I mean, you know what I mean? Why didn't they just let him go down with the ship? Just let him go down with the ship. Is this a move to show us how concerned they are with that ball club and how they're going to start building a winning attitude now?
Yeah.
With players we've never heard of. With guys who maybe excelled in AAA and AA. I'm really mad at him, and it breaks my heart. I'm being honest. I've been a White Sox fan as long as I can remember. I can remember when they were in the 59 series, I was so excited because the Yankees were always the team. I was so excited. We deserve better. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
We deserve better than what they've done to us, and it's not going to get better till there's a change of ownership. I don't care what kind of dress they put on that pig. It's still a pig.
Well, if Getz decided, like, say in Game 7 or 8 of this losing streak, that he was going to fire Grifol as soon as the losing streak was over, he had to wait 2 more weeks.
Yeah, I know.
He was probably like, will we ever win a game so I can fire this guy?
Maybe Grifol was smarter. He heard him say, we're going to fire him as soon as we win one. That's not happening.
Fellas, tank it again today.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Well,
nope, I'm getting the whole season. Of course, they got to pay him anyway.
Right. So, I mean, maybe in a way, this was a bonus for Pedro Grifol.
I don't know.
Instead of letting him finish sinking with the ship, Chris Getz said, look, Pedro, you know this was going to happen at the end of the year anyway. It's early August. Don't you just want a vacation? Yeah. You deserve it. You've gone through this nightmarish hell, and we want to let you go, so we'll continue to pay you. Go enjoy the rest of your summer.
Well, first of all, unlike the Bears, where I actually think that the vice president of operations and general manager make decisions that they probably let the McCaskey family know about, but they don't poll them at every move. There's nothing that goes on in that organization that Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't have his finger in somehow. Believe me.
Isn't he like 90 years old now?
Yeah. Maybe that's why it's not successful. You know what I mean?
I see what Joe Biden's done.
Yeah, no kidding. Maybe we should challenge him to
Biden.
We should challenge him to a debate, and maybe people would say, "Yeah, no, you need to go. You need to go." I'm so mad at them.
8:22 here at WRMN. Well, we have a phone call.
We do?
He's not going to talk about the White Sox. He's doing what we've said, changing the conversation.
Does he want to talk politics?
Could be.
Okay.
He can talk politics. But the next guy after him probably does, as another caller has come on the line.
Okay.
At 847-931-1410. But this is Bobby the Brain. Good old Bob.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Good morning, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Good morning, gentlemen. Unfortunately, my routine here has changed somewhat, and I don't get a chance to turn the radio on until maybe 10 minutes to 8, and so I'm missing a lot of good stuff. But that's going to change back. But something has been bugging me for a while, jogging my memory. Larry, do you remember who the chief of police was and what year it was that you started with the South Thousand Police?
Sure. A fellow by the name of Norman Smith was the chief of police, and it was September 1st, 1970.
Okay. I frankly don't remember too much about who was the chief after Norman Smith.
Jim Hansen. He was both of those fellows came from Elgin. Norm Smith was a retired Elgin lieutenant, and
I was instrumental in getting Jim Hansen in because I was asked if I knew of him because at that time one of my areas of business to work with police departments. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned it is I had been in talking to the chief of police, and you popped in, and he says, "Oh, I want to introduce you to our new juvenile officer, Larry Jones."
You thought I was going to work with juveniles. Instead, I was the juvenile officer.
He jokingly said after you left the room. He says, "We don't have the specialization, but he is our juvenile officer."
Yeah, that's what I kind of got shoved in that. But yeah, it's. I have to tell you, Bob. I was thinking about old times when I was down in that new building, and there is when you walk in, it's a bigger space than our station. When I came on in 1970, we had 2 rooms, and we did most of the business in the hallway. It was, it was what it was. So. And
you remember the utility closet just off the entrance there, where they had a utility sink?
No.
You don't remember that because they used to hold their village meetings in there too, in that area. But maybe that was even before then. But anyway, I was having a heck of a time remembering, because I remember that distinctly because it was sort of a joke. Yeah, he's our juvenile officer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have a long, long history with the village of South Elgin.
Well, I have to tell you, Bob, I always felt like I was adopted by a really nice family when I went on the police department there. I always felt that way, that I was always treated pretty well. I mean, maybe some chiefs. Maybe I had a chief that didn't like me. You can't please everybody.
Yeah, they got over it.
They did, or they left. I was young. I could outweight them. So, yeah.
Indeed. Anyway, memories.
Right.
Take care, friends.
Yep.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
All right, good old Bob going back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Turning back the page to the early Larry Jones years.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was a juvenile officer.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that fight. What was it called? The South End Tap?
East Side Tap.
The East Side Tap.
There was a South End Tap. It was on St. Charles Street, just outside of the city of Elgin, just past the railroad tracks on St. Charles Street. Or maybe before the railroad tracks. It was on the east side of the street.
It was in Elgin or South Elgin?
It was unincorporated.
Oh.
The sheriff's department had to go there, and they always called for help, so either us or Elgin or both we'd all be in there.
South End Tap.
There was a lot of unincorporated areas with lots of taverns in those days.
Yeah.
A lot of taverns that were out in the country, and a lot of tavern fights, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of, as they would be called in the South, honky-tonks.
Yeah.
Up here. A lot of rednecks up here. These people that make fun of Southerners.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean...
my dad was from Tennessee. I'm not making fun of anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of little dive bars with fights all the time. Good stuff. Fun stuff, huh, Larry Jones, as a young officer?
When you're young, that's all fun. It is all fun.
It's all fun until someone gets killed.
Yeah, it is kind of, but yeah.
847-931-1410. We'll stay on the phones and talk to James.
Sure.
Hey, James.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Jim.
James, did you know Larry, he called me yesterday, and he said that he never knew that I was on the air on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All this time, he's thought it's only been you and me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and WRMN put something else on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And you thought I was exaggerating when I said, without me, you're nothing.
Wow.
Yep.
And now back to James.
Yeah, absolutely. I plead ignorance on that one, but... the guy that cued me in was Dan Maloney when I seen him a few days back. Anyway, I'm going to throw you a curveball. That's a pun for sports.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to throw you a curveball, okay? For me, one of the greatest moments in baseball history, possibly in sports history, and I wish you guys would play the recording of manager Lee Constantine Elia.
Love it.
Me too.
It's the best.
It's just beeps. That's all it is.
It is. I can quote some of what he said. I mean, I can think of it right now.
Oh, my God.
If I could say it on the air.
He was so mad. And the more he talked, the madder he got.
Yeah.
He let go like nobody ever let go before. I mean, there were managers, I guess, that had gotten upset. Leo DeRocher was another guy that spoke his mind. I don't know if you remember. They called him Leo the Lip.
I do remember, yes.
Yeah. And I always kind of admired him also. He I don't know, he was married numerous times. One of the ladies he married was the heiress to the Goldblatt's dynasty.
Yeah.
Do you remember Goldblatt?
Oh, sure. Sure.
Yeah. A big department store chain. Anyway, see if you can play that, and naturally you'd have to beep out the choice comments and choice words in it. But I think it showed the ultimate frustration.
And he was on people about who could be at a ball game during the day. They don't work.
85% of the world is working. The other 15% come out here. It's a playground for the beeps.
That was like, and that was impromptu. He probably had thought a little bit of that every day until all of a sudden that day was like the launch codes were like clicking and they all three lined up and boom.
Yeah. The Cubs were 5-14. It was 1982, I think. And the Cubs were off to a 5-14 start. This was early in the season.
Yes.
And he defended his players in that rant.
Yeah.
He's like, don't boo. Our guys are busting their rear ends every day to get better, and we will get better. And, it was great.
Oh God, he was just so mad. Yeah.
Well, his references to were mainly at, I think, when it comes to the fan base, because that's when they had just day games.
Right.
Was the bleacher bums, they called them. Okay, and. That was a select group of fans. I'm telling you, they were a motley crew, to say the least. I worked in that area for about 8 years, and had seen the Cubs at their worst and best, I guess, and seen how that all played out. Of course, that was after I had gone 82. I'm going back to the 60s.
Yeah.
Late 60s, early 70s, but yeah. So anyway, see if you can edit that and play it for the listeners.
Okay.
I think, and anybody that's never heard that would enjoy it, and it plays into what you're talking about. And okay, so I wasn't going to talk politics, but I will add this.
Okay.
This election is going to be the equivalent of the World Series, because the world is at stake. Okay, guys, thanks for letting me in.
All right, Jim, have a good weekend, buddy.
Thanks, James.
You too, thanks. Bye.
8:31 here at WRMN. They're really, really behind you around here. What the am I supposed to do? Go out there and let my players get destroyed every day and be quiet about it? For the nickel-dime people who turn up, the mother don't even work. That's why they're out at the game. They ought to go out and and find out what it's like to go out and earn a living. 85% of the world is working. The other 15% come out here. A playground for the rip them, mother. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. That's Lee Elia.
I bet the writers and the reporters were thinking, man, just be quiet. This is gold. Just
no kidding.
Just nobody. Do not interrupt this. Do not say anything.
Please don't ever finish, Lee. This is the best ever.
Best rant ever. He was unhinged. I bet he felt better. He probably got all done, and it was like a catharsis. He's like, whew. Hey, how you guys doing? Nice to get that out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, you want to go for a beer now?
Yeah. Who's with me? Yeah.
And then he let's see, defends his players. All right, they don't show because we're 5-14. And unfortunately, that's the criteria of that dumb 15% that come out to day baseball. The other 85% are earning a living. I'll tell you, it'll take more than 5-12 or 5-14 to destroy the makeup of this club.
Good for him.
I guarantee you that. There's some pros out there that want to win, but you're stuck in a stigma of the Dodgers and the Phillies and the Cardinals and all that cheap It's unbelievable.
All that cheap. The Dodgers, that cheap.
It goes on and on and on. It's great.
I love that. Yeah.
I love it, too. All right, 8:33 here at WRMN. We're on YouTube, and let's see. We have Sue Castle checking in this morning. She is from
Hampshire.
Newman's.
From Hampshire.
From Newman's, yeah.
Really?
No,
we may have to go out. You might have to let me know. We may need to. I need to meet you. I may need to meet you out there for a beer.
Sure.
I'll drink a beer occasionally with you, kid.
Well, maybe after the parade on Sunday.
I think I'm going to go to a car show.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I think we're going to do the parade and probably hang around the Hampshire Coon Creek Country Days for a little while. Probably pop in at Newman's, maybe.
But I think better. I'd rather be there when it's not Coon Creek Days. More of an everyday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That sounds good. Thanks for listening, Sue. I was talking to her on the phone yesterday, and she actually, I told her about some of the changes the radio station's making to become more live and local during the day, 6 to 6 every day, which starts on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, we've been kind of properly stereotyped as a radio shopping show station.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not a stereotype. Maybe it's true. We've been a radio shopping show station for over 40 years. And she goes, oh, yeah, I know of the radio shopping show. So she has been familiar with this radio station over time.
Right. Now, and this might be a thing for Dean. How far does the Fox River Valley go west before you're not really in the Fox River Valley?
Doesn't matter, Larry.
I know, but when you're the voice of the valley, do you also need to be like the pulse of the plains or something? I mean, what does it take?
Sometimes it floods.
Okay, good enough.
And the water stretches out.
The seas expand. Okay.
Well, Hampshire is the fringe of the Fox River Valley.
The voice of the valley and the fringe of the Fox River. Right there. I think it's cool. I like little towns. I always have.
Yeah.
And that makes it sound like I'm making it sound like it's nothing. I don't mean that. I just think sometimes the charm gets a bit diluted as there's so much growth. That's all.
Right.
It takes away from that small town charm where you know everybody, where people get together and talk about the state of the nation, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and if you're running a town like Hampshire or any of those small towns, even South Elgin, don't you fear too much growth, don't you? You want to say that you're helping the town grow. You always want to move forward as a town, but you don't necessarily want to grow in population so much, right?
But the problem we had in this area is property became so valuable. You had to decide, do we want to annex it in and control it, or do we want some other town to annex it in? Because it's going to get annexed. That's really what happens. You're not going to say, well, you know what, we want the town to stay small, so we won't annex that. Well, you're surrounded by some very aggressive communities. It's going to have a lot of people live there. You might as well have it so you can have some input into it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what drove everything. We need it so we can control what's there.
And if you live down by the river in South Elgin, let's say, and you have for a long time, and you don't like the fact that South Elgin has sprawled,
yes,
you can still call your little piece of South Elgin the small part of South Elgin that it's always been, because you don't necessarily have to go trolling down Randall Road every day.
No, you don't.
You don't want to. And if you do, you got some conveniences up there that maybe you didn't have before.
No. The growth brought a lot of things that people have come to rely on. I mean, it really has. I mean, whether it's having its own high school, whether it's having a full-time fire department, full-time, like 3 stations with paramedic. I mean, none of that happened if it would be like 2,000 people, Yeah. And so there are benefits that come, but when you're trying to get somewhere, like last night, I remembered that when I was down there at like 4:30 or whatever, 5 o'clock, and wanting to get across town kind of, and you remember that the days when that was so easy.
Right, yeah.
Especially now with 31, the way I guess people are trying to avoid that. So it's
South Elgin's a bit of an extra mess right now because of a couple of things.
Yeah, that having Route 31 closed south of State Street down there.
Yeah.
Having the Route 20 thing done. There's a lot of things going on. Yeah.
And McLean, between McLean and Stearns or whatever, I think that
is that closed?
A lot of construction going on in that area
There's
too.
a lot of stuff happening.
So
there's a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff, though. I'm kind of in between. I like the nostalgia side of it, but I kind of like everything that comes with the growth, too.
8:38, we got one phone call, and then we'll be switching gears to Tim Calderwood.
It'll be sports time.
8:38, Tim Calderwood, Schaumburg Boomers play-by-play voice, joining us in just a couple of minutes. Good morning. Welcome to the first shift.
Yes, sir. Good morning, guys. Trucker Dennis.
What's up with you, Trucker Dennis? How you doing?
Oh, geez, I remember that Lee Elia rant. I'll never forget that. That was really something, and you couldn't help but giggle a little bit while he was doing it.
I know. I agree.
Even when I heard it for the first time, I'm going, really?
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago.
Yes.
When he did that. Yeah, they hit some really lousy teams. So, anyway, well, first off, I just wanted to wish you guys a good weekend and stuff like that. Car show in Hampshire this weekend, huh, Larry?
No. Next week. Next week is the car show in Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah.
I signed up for me and the wife have signed up for the 5K.
You did?
Yeah, for the fest, yeah.
Nice.
I haven't done one in a while. We used to do them kind of regular and stuff like that. And we even did. You ever heard of the Bix out in Davenport, Iowa? You ever heard of that? It's run by a local newspaper out there. It's a Bix. It's a 7-mile thing. It's a run-walk deal. I mean, you can sign up as a runner, so you get up in the front of the crowd, or you can sign up as a walker. And I was running all the downhills. They run you through a neighborhood that's got like a parkway. So there's a big median in the middle, you know what I mean? So it starts in the downtown area. The first quarter mile is really uphill. It's pretty steep. I don't know if it goes up to a bridge or something like that, but then it turns off into a residential, and you go for a good, I bet you're good to go for a good 5.5 miles through a residential neighborhood. They got the miles all marked off on there and stuff like that. All of a sudden you'll see, 1 mile, 2 miles, you know what I mean? And they got water and restrooms along the way and stuff like that. But 7 miles, I did it in about, an hour and 41 minutes to do 7 miles. And like I said, I walked most of it. I was just kind of like speed walking, you know what I mean? I just kept yelling, on your left, and everybody just move over. And I was walking the curb line on the median and stuff like that. And then I'm jogging the downhills and stuff like that, and then all the way down that hill too, because you come back out where you went up, and it's pretty steep and stuff like that, and you can't help but just kind of jog down that hill or something like that because the momentum really carries you and stuff like that. But yeah, I got to get in shape again for them. I haven't done a 5K in quite a while. I did a 5K in the Quad Cities area too. Another one. They have the marathon. They got a half marathon and they got a 5K. And I took second place in my age class at that time. I was just going over 60, so they had everybody set up. They had a thing where you did the day before. They called it the pump and run. And you went and you did some bench pressing and some curls. And they gave you 7 minutes for each one you could do. 7 minutes or 7 seconds. I'm sorry, 7 seconds for every curl you could do or something like that. And I had a total of, between the benching and the curling, I think I was somewhere in like 44 reps or something like that, times 7. So then they take that off your time. You know what I mean? And I ended up second place in my age class and stuff like that. There was actually a guy that was older than me, about 5 years older than me, actually took first place. So, yeah, I mean, he was probably in better shape than I was and stuff. But, I got to get, we just decided, I happened to come across it. I was flipping through on my phone and stuff, and all of a sudden this pops up in front of me, the first responders fest. And I'm going, really? I said, well, let's do this.
Yeah, cool.
I said, it's a reasonable price and stuff like that. And you know what? Like I say, it's uphill, it's not downhill and stuff. It's along the riverfront, so it'll be a nice venue.
It will. You'll have a lot of nice things to look at. And, well, thanks for doing it. We got to let you go because we got to talk sports now. But
yes, sir. Well, I'll let you go.
Have a good weekend, Dave. Thanks, buddy.
All right, bye now.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, call back on Monday, Trucker Dennis. Didn't mean to cut you short there, but and thanks for signing up for the Rapid Response 5K.
Right.
David's on the phone. David, we're going to have to wait till Monday for you because we have Tim Calderwood on the phone now to talk sports. Play-by-play voice of the Schaumburg Boomers. joining us now. And I was just counting the number of times that Lee Elia said the F word during his rant from 1982, and I counted 28 times. 17 in the first paragraph. It's like a 3-paragraph thing. 17 in the first paragraph. Yeah, he got a little tired. He went from 17 to 8 in the second paragraph.
He was cool enough.
And then 3 in the third paragraph. Yeah. It was a shorter paragraph, the third one. Tim Calderwood's with us now. Hey, Tim, how you doing?
He was talking about fun, obviously, right, fellas?
What's that?
I said he was talking about fun, obviously. That was the magic word you were talking about.
Yes.
We have so much fun out here at the fun ballpark.
You fun guys.
Yeah. You familiar with that Lee Elia rant, Tim, from back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, someone just brought it up, and I found it written out, and I was trying to read part of it on the air, but I was having to hit the bleep button every fourth or fifth word.
I was afraid you were going to miss something.
Yeah, I know. Because he combines a couple.
I know. He gives the old one, too.
Yeah. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing good, fellas. How about you?
We're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you, so Larry, are you excited now that your boy Pedro Grifal's gone?
Believe me, Pedro wasn't the problem, Tim. Believe me.
It was a vacation.
That's it.
He should have been the one with this rant.
He should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it should have been on a call to management. He shouldn't be talking to the reporters.
Well, after he got fired, did he have like a going away press conference or anything?
I don't think
That's
so.
what he should have done. He should have said, you know what, I've been holding this all in.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to say.
They sent him to a gunfight with an empty gun. That's not fair.
Well, what do you think, Tim? Grady Sizemore's in for 45 games, and he's holding down the fort for somebody else for next year? Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking Grady Sizemore's getting an audition, to be honest with you. Who else is going to take that job?
Oh, there's always somebody, Tim.
Yeah.
You know that. There's always
but
someone.
The big things everybody's talking about, there's no way any of those guys take the job. You think Tito Francona wants to come back and manage the White Sox when he knows that they're going to lose 100 games?
No, you need somebody who doesn't have a legacy yet. You don't want to come back and lose it.
It's a 45-game audition for Grady Sizemore.
Well, that's why I was saying earlier, Tim, to Larry, I think that there may be something to this. It's like...
And they brought up their AAA manager to be the bench coach, too, so for what that's worth.
He's 42 years old. He'll take a managerial job. He's being given a golden opportunity.
You want to get in the club. Get in the club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not expected to win any more out of the last 45 games. 15 wins would be more than acceptable. So he doesn't have to win. He just has to prove that he can kind of run the clubhouse and work with the guys and show that he's got some promise as a manager, right?
I would think that's all he's got to do, yeah. I mean, I heard this random thing the other day about the fact that the White Sox have a high payroll, and I'm like, well, where is that money going? Because it's clearly not going to anybody who's worth a darn on the big league roster.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it makes sense for him. Like, he's the guy that they would like in this spot. He's a person with a long baseball career to begin with, and a lot of people talked about as a potential manager. I mean, talking about Terry Francona, he played under him. So, I don't know. I just... As Larry says, that should have been the worst or the least of the White Sox problems.
Yes.
But, apparently, everybody in the clubhouse didn't even respect him, even though John Triffin went on a rant about how reporting was bad about players talking bad about him, and yeah.
Well, here's a quote from Chris Getz from the Daily Herald article on the firing. We know the flaws in this roster. But
really, you don't say.
But with that being said, we expected to win more games. We did. These factors led to the decision. I would hope you'd expect to win more games than 28 out of 117.
You could win more games by accident. Come on. The thing that I think makes me mad as well, and I was listening, not when you were on the air, Mark, but sports radio. Anyway, before this season started, I can't think of the name of the group that people rely on as they kind of rate the different teams. You know what I mean? And it's got some acronym, and I can't remember. They had the White Sox picked as a 100-loss team.
Right.
Before the season started. How can the management, the ownership, think differently than people looking. I mean, they're so close inside. They're breathing their own fumes so much. They didn't know that they were starting the year losers. It makes me mad. I just can't get over. But they're so used to us taking a crap product. They don't care. Just send it out there. We'll get the baseball money. We're fine. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm disgruntled.
It's okay, Larry. You can rant.
I'm not going to rant. You know why?
Let it all hang out.
Because I can't think of enough bad words to have 3 paragraphs. I think I only know 3 really good ones. So.
He used the F word more than any other choice of bad words.
Yeah, well,
that was his favorite.
Then I can come back in. I'm okay for 3 paragraphs then. Okay.
Yeah. Well, 8:58, about 5 minutes left in the sports report. How about the Schaumburg Boomers here, Tim, as we head down the home stretch? I was looking briefly at some of the recent results. I think you guys lost yesterday, right? But overall, over the last several games, it's been a decent little run for the Boomers.
38-35 is the record. Still sitting in 4th place in the West Division, as we are actually on the bus right now going to Ohio to meet Lake Erie, who has just survived a tornado. And they are actually the team directly ahead of the Boomers in the standings, so it ends up being a big weekend series out in Ohio, so we'll see how things end up here. But the team comes back on Monday for a nice long homestand, one of the last homestands of the year, so make sure to visit boomersbaseball.com to grab your tickets and be part of the fun before it is way too late.
How far ahead of the Boomers are Lake Erie?
Well, it was 2 going into yesterday. I haven't looked today. They split a doubleheader and we lost, so I don't know what that means in terms of standings. 2.5, maybe?
Yeah.
3, I don't know. Something like that.
So is it fair to say then that the Boomers right now, maybe factual to say that they're on the outside looking in of the playoffs and have to finish the season strong to get in?
That is a factual statement, yes.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, how many years in a row have the Boomers been in the playoffs?
3 straight.
3 straight years. Okay. Well, we'll see if the Boomers come on strong here late in the season.
Right.
Back at home next week. Boomersbaseball.com if you want to catch a Boomers game coming down the home stretch already of the 2024 regular season. Cubbies and the White Sox the next 2 days. I'm not going to get too optimistic about the Cubs because every time I do, they let me down. So I would imagine they'll let me down somehow and lose one of these games against the White Sox.
If they were playing anyone else, I would agree with you. I think they'll stay strong.
They'll have to try really hard to lose.
Yeah. I think so.
In the next 2 days.
Yeah, I think so.
They're 57-60 now, I believe, and they've won 5 of their last 7. They took 3 of 4 from the Cardinals and 2 of 3 from the Twins because they make the American League look easy.
Aren't they, in fact, the most successful franchise in the city right now? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that honor is bestowed upon us, the Schaumburg Boomers. So did I say that?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I said that's true. Yeah.
So,
no, I went to Wrigley on Monday actually, and of course the Cubs decided to not show up for that game, so that was fun.
They lost 3-0 to the Twins on Monday, and then burst out for 15 runs the next 2 days when Tim wasn't there,
and when they didn't need all of them. Right.
Right.
Maybe there's a tendency to not having Tim in the ballpark.
That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to talk some Bears, boys.
Yeah, you want to? We got about 2 minutes left. Caleb Williams is going to play
the preseason full official opener because Caleb Williams is going to play. Sounds like, at least to start. They're in Buffalo. My big question is, have you had a chance to watch the first episode of Hard Knocks yet?
Not yet.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I actually heard this conversation the other day, and I thought it was interesting. Somebody pointed out that, and since I'm literally on the bus watching the off-season Hard Knocks with the Giants, you do not hear a swear word in the first episode.
I heard that as well.
I don't know if that's a Matt Eberflus thing. I don't know if that's a Bears thing or what, but every other year that you've watched, and like I said, I'm watching the off-season Hard Knocks right now, and in the first 30 seconds of it, there was a swear word. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if that's got something to do with their culture, and maybe that's part of the reason why they're so high on Matt Eberflus, who, by the way, I will say, I actually gained a little bit of appreciation for watching this, and we'll have to see what happens next. There's a great segment where they had Nick Saban in with Eberflus, because, of course, Saban came to speak at one of the first days of training camp.
And Eberflus played for him in college.
Yeah, at the University of Toledo. They showed pictures of both of them.
Yeah. What it means to me...
It's a really fun watch. That's what I'll say, guys.
What it means to me is nobody stubbed their little pinky toe walking around during that thing, or else... Because you can't do that and not curse somehow. It's going to happen. It's got to happen. That's the only way to quit hurting. So, well, it's going to be an interesting season.
When Hard Knocks is not on HBO, like, could I find it and go back and watch it?
I don't know when they release it. I don't know when it gets released.
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to HBO? That's the thing.
Maybe. I might have to. Just for a short time.
You can get it anytime. Yeah.
Might have to.
And they do have an in-season Hard Knocks now, too. It's become so popular that they've done an off-season, an in-season, and a training camp version.
Well, I got to tell you, the preseason one, year before last, or whenever the Lions was on it, made me really appreciate the Lions organization when I watched that. You get really inside. I think it makes you like them.
Yeah.
So there was a guy called the Flag Guy. I won't spoil it for you. Just suffice it to say that they do rookie initiation with this guy who probably has zero chance of making the team in the first place. And he completely stole the first episode. It was hilarious.
Okay.
All right. Well, how long is Caleb going to play tomorrow? 1 quarter? You think he'll play a full quarter?
Maybe a series. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be out there very long, but I do think they want to get him some reps. And I think, this is maybe the time to let him sit a little bit, and then you got to start ramping him up and getting him close to the season. So we'll see.
The Bears looked so unprepared on opening day against Green Bay last year. I know it was a whole different team than they have right now, but I just hope that the lack of playing time that these guys are going to get in the preseason doesn't cost us a game when the season starts, because it's still like the preseason.
I think we'll see a little bit more of who's going to be the number 2 quarterback. I think we'll have a little bit more of that conversation.
Well, it is interesting. In Hard Knocks, they show how many reps there are in a practice, and literally you can see Caleb Williams is getting every single rep. So it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
All right, Tim. Thanks. Have a great road trip. We'll see you next Friday.
See you, Tim.
All right.
Bye.
Take it, fellas.
Take care. All right, Larry.
Take care, pal.
Yep.
Have a good weekend. Okay.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments. In Elgin, officials debunked rumors regarding a search and rescue operation along the Fox River that, according to many, had happened yesterday. Highland Avenue instead was closed from Douglas Avenue to Route 31 due to a minor fuel leak, which remains under investigation. In Elgin, the race for City Council is heating up with petitions now available for 4 open seats. Interested candidates can visit the city clerk's office in City Hall, room 202, to secure their petition. This Saturday from noon until 2, the Lego Olympics are taking place at the Elgin Community College. You can celebrate the 2024 Summer Olympics with an epic Lego building contest. Build an Olympic-themed creation with family and friends. You'll have 2 hours to build, and entries will be judged by ECC staff. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Downy the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just 1 wash. Guaranteed.
Villa's 3 locations offer much more than their signature Italian beef. Try the Italian sausage, roasted chicken, and more. There's a big variety of delicious side dishes. Beef Villa uses quality ingredients from homemade recipes, and they purchase top-of-the-quality food products from their vendors to bring you the absolute best tasting of foods. Beef Villa's great service and quality are waiting for you, but you won't be waiting long because it's always hot and fresh. Visit beefvilla.com.
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears open up the preseason tomorrow at Buffalo. The team's starters will take some snaps, including top overall pick quarterback Caleb Williams. Day off for both the Cubs and the White Sox on Thursday, but the White Sox fired manager Pedro Greifal after a 28-89 start. He was at the helm for less than 2 seasons. The Sox recently snapped a 21-game losing skid. Bench coach Charlie Montoyo, third base coach Eddie Rodriguez, and assistant hitting coach Mike Tosar also let go. Grady Sizemore will take over as interim manager for the remainder of the season. He'll be joined by bench coach Doug Sisson, third base coach Justin Gershelli, and hitting coach Mike Gellinger. The Cubs and White Sox begin a series tonight in South Chicago. The Cubs have won 2 in a row in 6 of 10 and sit 5 games out of a wild card in the National League.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Getting ready for back to school at Macy's is all about fresh starts and new looks, making it one of summer's greatest hits. Save on must-haves like cargos, mini dresses, jeans, and more that'll hold up from the first day of school to the last. Plus, you'll find all the top quality brands you love, like Nike, Jordan, Levi's.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 9 o'clock.
The Elgin Police Department is dedicated to working in partnership with the community to promote safety and enhance the quality of life by serving with professionalism, encouraging open communication, and embracing diversity.
Engaged.
Partnering with our citizens and involved in our community.
Progressive.
Embracing innovative strategies while maintaining proven practices.
Dedicated.
Serving with integrity and professionalism. Elgin became an incorporated city in 1854 and installed its first police marshal, George W. Renwick. Over the years, the title of the head law enforcement officer changed from marshal to chief. And although the role has expanded, one duty has remained consistent: to ensure law and order for the citizens of Elgin.
It's time now for Fridays with the Finest, featuring Elgin's current police chief, Anna Lally, on Elgin's hometown radio station since 1949, WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
All right, Friday morning here at WRMN, and it's time now for Fridays with the Finest. As we have the chief out today, badge 240, Anna Lally is not here today, but we have Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler and a new commander, Tom Michael, on hand with us to talk about what's going on at the Elgin Police Department. A lot of change, a lot of new faces, and so welcome to the show, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Before we talk about what's going on with the police department, though, it is Fridays with the Finest, which also includes our firefighters who had a big day yesterday. And they spent a lot of time on the Highland Street Bridge trying to find the source of a diesel fuel leak, I guess, as it turns out. And Fire Chief Rob Soggin's nice enough to take a couple minutes with us right now to give us a little bit of a recap of what went down yesterday here in Elgin. Good morning, Chief Soggin.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
How you doing today? Okay?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're doing fine. Doing fine. So I saw you on the bridge yesterday, and you ended up being on the bridge a lot yesterday because of this diesel fuel leak from somewhere, right? Can you give us just a recap?
Sure. We got a call about approximately 9:30, 9:45 in the morning for a fuel-like sheen on the river coming from underneath the Highland Street Bridge. Our initial crews responded, certainly could smell what smelled to be diesel fuel, as well as was able to confirm that there was this sheen. So we actually were out training at that moment. Our dive team was out doing training down by the riverboat, so we had boats in the water already.
Wow.
So the crews that were up on the bridge asked if we could come down there and get under the bridge and see what we could find. So the dive team members went down there. They could confirm that there was some level of flow coming out of the storm sewer line. So the storm sewer line is the line that takes all the rainwater anything that's up on the surface, you see the grates in the gutters of the roadway or the grates in the middle of the street where all the water and everything else drains down into the stormwater system, and then it's discharged at various points around the city. There is one discharge that goes into the river right underneath Highland Avenue Bridge. So we were able to confirm that, at which time we started everything in process. We looked to get the containment, which is our biggest concern, is to contain that so it doesn't flow downstream towards the Fox River Water Reclamation District water intakes, or even farther down like into Aurora. So we were able to work with our local hazardous materials response teams, as well as we had the Illinois EPA on scene, and we were also able to work with some other mutual aid parties, support parties to come in and help us. And then ultimately we ended up bringing in a private hazardous materials cleanup company who had larger booms and could absorb the material better than what we had. And so we were able to put all that into place. And so we, about 5:30 last night, we were able to get everything contained, get the roadway opened, and now we're just in the testing and monitoring phase.
Were you ever able to determine where the diesel fuel got into the river from, what the source was?
We're still working on that, and when we talk about this diesel flow, and I want to make sure that people understand, this was not like a massive flow of fuel that was going into the river. This was, anytime you have gasoline, diesel fuel, things along those lines, those are, without getting into the chemistry of this all, really, but those fuels are lighter than water, and they'll float on top of the water. So even a small amount of gasoline or a small amount of diesel fuel mixed with water will spread that fuel out and make it look like a much larger spill than it truly is. So I don't have any way of calculating the amount we had, but our response teams that came out, who might have much more knowledge about this stuff than I do, told me this was really just a sheen on the water, which means it's just very, very light and very, very surface. Nothing down below the water line. And so it's not a big flow, but we don't know exactly where it's coming from. But we did flush the line. We had a fire engine up at Route 31 in Highland, and we flushed that line. And so we're hoping that solved it. All that everything we flushed down went down through that stormwater system and then was captured by all the absorbent material that we had at the outflow area of that line. So the EPA will be back this morning with us, and we have some testing going on, but everything looks like it's contained, and I think we've been able to rectify the situation.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking a few minutes here and talking about it, and I know you guys were working on it diligently all day yesterday, and I guess have to do some follow-up today to see if it's all finished with once and for all. But thanks for all you do.
That's correct. Yep. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was nice talking to you yesterday when you stopped by.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. You guys have a great day.
Take care.
Well. Thanks, Chief.
All right, Fire Chief Rob Soggin checking in. Elgin Fire Chief, as they spent the day on the Highland Bridge yesterday. Deputy Chief Schuessler was here, and you guys were out there yesterday, but just kind of monitoring traffic for the most part, right?
Yeah. We initially got called with the fire department, went to the Unified Command, blocked off a couple streets so that they could be safe, doing what they needed to do on the bridge. We were eventually relieved. Public Works was able to bring out some barricades, relieve our officers, and then it was pretty much their thing for the rest of the afternoon. It sounds like they did a great job. Yeah.
So hopefully everything's okay, and there wasn't really too much diesel that got into the river, and everything will be fine. So it's 9:07 here at WRMN. It's Fridays with the Finest, and Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler is here with us, along with new Commander Tom Michael. And what else is going on? You been okay?
Doing great, yeah. Just wanted to talk about what a great turnout we had for National Night Out this week, which was on Tuesday. We had 29 parties. The community came out big time. Super impressed with all the involvement, all the partners that we had. Thank you to the community for that type of showing. 29 parties is huge. We had Obviously, Christy Schmidt and Danny Flores, our community outreach specialist, worked tirelessly to make that a success. And each of these parties is hosted by a neighborhood group or an individual. And we did actually have 8 that were hosted or co-hosted by officers, a lot of our NOPE officers. So, our school resource officers, Rope Officer Hinkie, Officers Ayala and Cortez, Officers Juarez and Heel, Alton Gallagher in the downtown area for, I think, our first ever Taste of Elgin, which was a huge success. Officer Alva, Rope Officer Alva, and Officer Barone, Officer Payne, Rope Officer Payne, and Cam Jackson all did a great job. Had a bunch of dignitaries out. Council showed up big. I think you had Councilman Steffen.
I did, yeah.
I had the mayor. So we went around. Councilwoman Martinez was out there. Councilwoman Powell, Good, Ortiz. Had Jamie Mosser, the state's attorney from King County State's Attorney's Office. Elgin Township Super Ken Brutally. Judge Valdez was out there. So we had a lot of people going out, interacting with the community, and it was a great time. So I think it was I would call it a success.
So all these parties, did you have to bounce around to a lot of different places then?
Yeah, we do. So we get each team, we had 10 teams, and I was with the mayor, so we each get some groups some parties that were assigned to, so we make those. Usually they're at a request, and I'll tell you from my experience, when I'm with the mayor, he's the VIP. He shows up, and I get to go over and hang out at the buffet and grab a snack because everybody wants to talk to that guy. So so there's 10 teams, and we go to our assigned parties, and if we have a little extra time, we kind of bounce around to some of the other ones. And there's some big parties. Officer Alva's party is always a huge event. I think the anticipated was close to 1,000 people for that one, with kids included, adults and kids. So. What parties did you go to?
So we started at Officer Alva's party, and it was huge. Several hundred people on the onset. That was our first one. Huge turnout, several blocks, people everywhere. Everyone having a good time. A lot of community partners out there. Really a great time, great turnout. So really an impressive party.
And on an interesting night, weather-wise, because we've had so many hot, humid summer days. Every day leading up to that day, and then that day the weather turned, stayed dry pretty much. It was drizzly a little bit, but the fact that it was in the 60s, I was in South Elgin at their neighborhood night out, and I think it drove the crowd down a little bit because there was a nice turnout, but not quite as many as I thought might be down there. So I wondered if the weather would chase some people away. Not that it was bad, just it was kind of different from what everybody's been used to here lately.
Yeah, just the day before was close to, or in the 80s, and obviously it turned. I know last year it was probably close to 90 because we were talking with some of the parties that we went to. We were talking about the difference between last year and this year. So I'll tell you from our standpoint and with what we wear with the vest, it was very comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. We'll take it every time. Yeah.
No kidding. Well, so that was neighborhood night out. What's the difference, by the way? I don't want to get too far off the topic, but you mentioned NOPE officers. What's the difference? Do we still have a ROPE program? Do we have a ROPE and a NOPE? What's the difference?
Yeah, absolutely. So we still have a ROPE program, or resident officers who are assigned to live and work in specific areas within the city. But NOPE officers is kind of like ROPE light. So there's no housing assigned to the officer, but they take an area and they're invested in that area. They try to work with the community on long-term issues, short-term issues, try to obviously work with the kids in the area, build relationships in that area. So it's the neighborhood officer program of Elgin. I think we were up to what we just had was Bob Eaglekey, Sergeant Eaglekey on the radio show with you a couple weeks ago, or
I don't think so. Maybe missed one show. Maybe he was on that show.
Okay,
yeah,
that might be it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's the sergeant who oversees the NOPE officers. And just for example, National Night Out here, we had a bunch of them that this was their first opportunity to kind of host or co-host a party in their area and start to build those relationships. So, very successful program that is only going up.
Yeah. Well, we have a new commander in the house with us today. Tom Michael, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So a lot of switching around, and that's with Commander Lesko retiring, right? Opened up a new spot, and you want to tell us a little bit about your background, Tom, and how you've made your way up the chain?
Sure. I've been in law enforcement for approximately 26 years. I've been here at the City of Elgin for 23. So I started at the Addison Police Department and came over here in 2001. From there, did my time in patrol. Had the opportunity to go in our gang crimes unit for about 7 years. From there, got promoted to sergeant in 2012. Did again back to patrol for a few years. Had an opportunity to supervise our major investigations division for about 3 years. Back to patrol for a little bit longer, and then actually last year I was a sergeant of our community engagement division, which was a great year for me, having a chance to work with all of our rope officers, crime-free housing, our school resource officers, really see the great work that they do firsthand, watching Christy and Danny, plan something like National Night Out and some of the other large events we do was eye-opening, the tremendous work that they do. So from there, got promoted to lieutenant about 4 months ago. Went to our special investigations division, did that for about 4 months, and from there, got lucky and opportunity to become a commander last Friday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool. So it seems to me, within Elgin, I'm thinking that it's probably with most law enforcement agencies, but that commanders do come from within. And every time we meet a new commander, it seems like, or a lot of the officers of the Elgin Police Department that have gone up the ranks, they've been in so many different areas, and so that's what makes you the perfect candidate to step into the commander's role, right? It's like you just mentioned, like 6 different areas that you've been a part of over your 20 plus years at the Elgin Police Department. So you get to learn a little bit about everything, which makes you the perfect commander because you know something about all the different departments, right?
Yeah, I think that does. I mean, the more well-rounded you are, I think the better you are going to be in any position. So having the opportunities to come from an investigative role to then do the community engagement function was huge for me, and really I think helped prepare me to take on this new challenge, new opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, we were just talking about that in the green room there before we came in, about how the diversity with your assignments really helps. And one thing Tom didn't mention, he was on our SWAT team for longer than I was. How many years?
Almost 17 years.
17 years.
Wow.
So another component that really helps as you work your way up the ranks.
Yeah. So that's cool. So what would you say when you switch? What was the last role you had before you got promoted to commander?
I was the lieutenant of our special investigations group. Yeah.
So that goes from lieutenant to commander, basically.
Right.
And so, what's the biggest difference? Like when you become a commander, what are the main daily duties that you perform, and how different is that from being a lieutenant?
Well, just more administrative work. You just have a lot more areas of responsibility, a lot more people to touch base with, and I'm just continuing to learn the role, and
So as the special investigations lieutenant, he's responsible for that group, but there's another side to investigations, which Tom is now in charge of. So he also has the major investigation side and our technical investigations. So a lot of the camera stuff, the camera works, part of the investigative side of things. So now he's managing all those things, and he lucked out. He just kind of missed our budget process, but that's a big thing for administration. Chief and I and the other commanders and our budget analyst, Lacey Roberts, were working quite a bit over the last month and a half, 2 months, to reach out to all of our groups to find out what their needs were, to find out if costs were going up with softwares that we have, if there was equipment that was going to be, we're going to see price increases on. So then we have to put that together, and then we have to do a proposal to the city manager's office and the chief financial officer, which is coming up here in a couple weeks. So he missed that part of it, but
congratulations.
I'll get it next year.
I'll make sure he won't miss it next year.
I'll get it next year.
Well, cool. Well, that's awesome. Good news for you and for the Elgin Police Department. I know that's just one of many maneuvers that have been taking place. It's another time of a lot of change within, right, Deputy Chief Schuessler?
Yeah, it seems like we constantly talk about that. I know I've been on a couple times where we talked about all the changes.
Yeah.
And been on with some new commanders that have come up, or new supervisors. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Dave Lesko, retired Commander Lesko. He and I went to the academy together. I was telling Tom the story. I was hired in fall of '96 when the building just opened, the new police station.
Yeah.
Only because they needed some cheap labor to get everything set up in the training office. So I got to spend about 10 weeks in the training office. And then Dave Lesko, myself, and a few others, there was 5 of us, went to the academy in January of '97. So Dave and I have known each other for our entire careers, for the most part, with the city of Elgin. Dave's a great guy. He'll be missed, and we're wishing him the best. I've texted him a few times here. We had a couple things that you needed to know where this was or that was, or hey, you got this court case, which, believe it or not, you still have court cases when you retire.
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So he returned your text then?
Yeah. Eventually, not quite as prompt as they used to be, but yes.
I'm out of here now. Get me when you get me.
Yeah. So congratulations, Dave. And then so this past Friday we had Officer Will Eusitis get promoted to sergeant, who I know the chief is going to have on one of these days with you. I know she's kind of got some plans for the next couple Fridays with you, but she does want to get Sergeant Will Eusitis on the show with you. And then Sergeant Dave Zirk got promoted to lieutenant. So that's pretty exciting. I've known Dave for a long time. He was our original officer assigned to training. When we went from a civilian to an officer, he was assigned to training division, did that phenomenal job there for a very long time before getting promoted to sergeant and going down to patrol and then do investigations. So he'll be coming out of investigations, and we'll figure out where he's going to go here in the coming week. We're working on what our roster is going to look like going into 2025, so that'll get finalized here. And then we hired 8 new officers, and I'm happy to say they all went to the Macon County Law Enforcement Training Center and passed their power test this week, so they're all good to go. They'll start the academy September 3rd. And what's really interesting is we currently have 10 recruits at the academy, and they're graduating August 23rd. So for a week there, we're going to have 18 brand new people running around, so our training division is going to be very, very busy.
Yeah.
So does that mean there will be 18 new Elgin police officers before too long, actually on the force?
Well, yeah, it takes a while, but the 10 coming back August 23rd, they'll go through a little in-house academy, and then they'll go to their shifts to go through their FTO program, their field training program, which takes 4 months if everything works out the way it's supposed to. So they should be just about ready to get on their own going into the beginning of 2025, into 24, December to January. They should be getting ready to get on their own. And then the 8 that are going to be going to the academy should be coming out. I think they graduate right before Christmas. I think December 22nd or 22nd. So they'll have a little bit of an in-house, and then they will be going into field training in 25. So yes, we'll have 18 new people in the department by the end of next year, not to mention, whoever else we may hire, because we do, as the chief always says, we're being proactive with our hiring so that, while a lot of agencies are down or trying to get people, we're currently at a surplus in anticipation of known or anticipated retirements like Commander Lesko.
Yeah. When you have a surplus, what happens with the officers that are a part of that surplus? Like, there's not a spot for them yet, but they've qualified to become an Elgin Police Department officer. Are they? It's like being put on hold in a way, right? You're like in reserve, kind of.
So they are an officer, but we kind of look at we look at our current roster and we say these are the anticipated retirements, or these are we reasonably foresee. Like, I can tell you my timeline is 12, 15 months. So it takes that long between the academy and field training to get somebody to come in and fill that position. So when someone's going to retire, reasonably know that people are going to retire, and when we look at the time that our officers have on the job, we can say that we're anticipating 6, 8, these people are going to be gone in the next year and a half. So what we're doing is being proactive and making sure that when that person retires, there's a person that is ready to go fill that position.
Yeah, okay. Well, we have a phone call at 847-931-1410 as we hit the home stretch of Fridays with the Finest here today. I'm joined by Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler and new Commander Tom Michael on this Friday. And we have City Councilwoman Rose Martinez, who's calling us right now. Good morning, Rose.
Good morning, Marky B. How are you?
Great. How you doing?
Good morning, Rose.
Good morning.
Hi, Deputy Chief. Hello, Commander. How are you guys?
Great,
thank you.
Good. I just wanted to make a comment. I was listening to the show, and when Deputy Chief Schuessler talks about the police department, the comment is that Eldon is just right. It's not a big city like Chicago or L.A. or anything like that. It's just the right size. There's so many departments, and you get so much experience as a police officer. This is precisely why we have a lot of police officers, commanders, lieutenants, whatever. They move on to become police chiefs because they have all this experience that if you were in a small police department, you wouldn't be able to get it. But here, you get experience of everything, and you're ready to be a chief somewhere else. And that has happened. It's happened many times.
Yeah.
It's like this is like a farm place where they go ahead and they get this experience and they're ready to go on. I just wanted to make that comment.
I was talking yesterday about West Dundee's down to their final four of hiring a new police chief, and we were just speculating as to any of the final four were from the Elgin Police Department, and they didn't announce who the final four were, but just when I was sitting here talking about it on the show yesterday, I think I rattled off about 6 or 7 different towns where former Elgin police officers are now the police chief
exactly.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And out of state, too. So, yeah, I think it's really good. People say things about the police department. I get it. There's a national negativity, but here in Elgin, it's totally different. There's countries that come to look into the Elgin Police Department. There's other police departments that come from other states, from other towns. This is a great police department.
Well, thanks for calling, Rose. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
City Councilwoman Rose Martinez listening to the show and calling in. So, we got about 3-4 minutes left. Anything else that we want to share today? We cover it?
So I just wanted to touch on that. We actually have some chiefs that are on their second chief's job. Retired Commander O'Shea went on to go to Rockford as a chief, and now he's the Metro chief. So that's great.
Really?
Yeah.
From Metro?
Metro PD, yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So he's there. Obviously, when you're rattling off the names, there's quite a few, and that's one of the draws of the Elgin Police Department. One of the things that you're going to get when you come to Elgin is you're going to get the ability to have a lot of opportunities, whether it's being investigations, technical investigations, being on a SWAT team or evidence response team. We have a bunch of things that are a draw for a new officer or a young officer maybe in another department that wants to have more opportunities. So we're very proud of that.
For sure, and I'm a perfect example of that coming from another police department, that this is a draw for officers from other departments to come because we have such a great reputation and so many great opportunities at this police department.
So you came from Addison, is that right?
I did, yes.
Addison, okay. Well, it was nice to meet you a little bit today.
You as well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming into the show, and thanks for filling in for the chief this morning.
Happy to.
Good to see you. I'm glad everything's going well, and there's no hazardous leaks in the river this morning. So
yes. Great.
All right, take care, guys.
Have a good weekend. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. That's Deputy Chief Adam Schuessler, along with Tom Michael, the new commander on the Elgin Police Department. And that's going to wrap up Fridays with the Finest today. Coming up next, Steve Thoren is in. He's walking in right now as we speak, and we'll have his show, the Senior Community Spotlight Show, in just a couple of moments. Keep it right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube on a Friday.
And we're back with WCK, Comfort Keepers Radio. So, Julianne, what got you interested in Comfort Keepers?
Mom passed. We were concerned about Dad being alone.
And Phil, what's it like to have a caregiver around?
Well, it's great. They help me get ready for the day and drive me wherever I need to go.
And I heard you guys are cooking together, too.
I'm learning.
It's been a huge relief knowing someone's there.
Learn more at comfortkeepers.com.
As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Summer Lake House offers the ultimate waterfront family dining experience, complete with rustic summer-inspired decor and a menu that highlights simple, handcrafted dishes prepared with locally sourced ingredients. The Wisconsin-inspired Summer Lake House, where you can enjoy a laid-back, family-friendly vibe with delicious modern American cuisine and handcrafted cocktails. Don't just go out to eat, go outside to eat. Summer Lake House on Lake Delton.
Adrenaline Monkey is located inside the Life Zone 360 building on Route 72 in West Dundee. Release your inner wild child at Adrenaline Monkey. It's the area's highest octane indoor adventure center. Perfect for the whole family, too. Adventurers of all ages can try Ninja Warrior obstacles, rock climbing, vertical adventures, and aerial course. Adrenaline Monkey can also host your organization's
And we're back with WCK, Comfort Keepers Radio. So, Julianne, what got you interested in Comfort Keepers?
Mom passed. We were concerned about Dad being alone.
And Phil, what's it like to have a caregiver around?
Well, it's great. They help me get ready for the day and drive me wherever I need to go.
And I heard you guys are cooking together, too.
I'm learning.
It's been a huge relief knowing someone's there.
Learn more at comfortkeepers.com.
Well, this is not your standard Senior Community Spotlight Show open, but it is the open for today. Welcome to the Senior Community Spotlight Show here on a Friday morning. Adjusting some things here to try to bring all the shows together. And Stevie Thoren is here on a Friday morning to talk to us about Elgin and much, much more. This beautiful Friday here in Elgin. Amazing weather. Kind of cool for this time of the year, but I don't think we're complaining. Welcome to the show, Steve Thoren.
Hey, well, I was complaining a little bit, and I'm not a complainer, but I'll tell you what, once I got a couple blocks away from the house this morning wearing shorts, I thought, what on earth is going on? So much for global warming every day.
Yeah. There are extremes when it comes to global warming. We're on the low end of the extreme right now.
Evidently. Well, it is a beautiful weekend in store weather-wise, but it's going to have some people adjust their attire.
Yeah, you wear jeans and a sweatshirt tonight. It's going to be in the 50s all weekend at night.
I got a sweatshirt on. I'll be wearing jeans. I can't wait to get home and wear them. But it's just going to be nice out. I'll have to do some extra watering. We had the one thing about all that rain, it certainly helped me out with the watering. Plus, it's great fertilizer. Our flowers are flourishing right now, but now I got to keep watering and keep them wet.
It's been a great summer for plant growth and for just all of the garden vegetables and fruits and everything else, the flowers, with all the rain we've had this summer. But personally, I wouldn't mind it if it dried out a little bit in the month of August. We have a big car show coming up September the 7th.
I've heard you talk about it. Yeah, you want to be able to load up those fields.
Well, we really need that field.
Yeah.
Because John Palero's been working so hard all summer, getting the information out about our great car show taking place, Panton Park on September the 7th. And it's been great the last 3 years. We hope it's great again the fourth year. I think we'll have as many cars as we want, but not if we can't use that field.
That's the thing.
And so, and Kim, the last time we met with Kim Washer from South Elgin, she said she was a little concerned because of all the rain they have had, that it's just kind of mushy this year. But if we have a dry August, I think we'll be okay.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to dry out. A few multiple days with the sun out, and it's amazing how hard that ground gets. Well, good luck with that, Mark. And, of course, I'm anxious for that event. And I will be out there as much as I can. I have a reunion that night, a big event, and I'll be the MC for, so I won't be able to stay super late. But what time does the First America or Responders Fest start?
It starts at 11 o'clock.
Starts at 11.
Yeah.
And so the car show, what is the hours of that?
I think the actual car show hours are like noon to 5. We're having the car show trophy presentation at 5 o'clock.
Got it. Cool.
But we're welcoming a lot of cars to come early, between like 8:30 and 9:30, which so many of those classic car owners come early anyway, well before the registration time.
Because they want that front space.
Yeah.
They want to be parked up front.
Well, if they can get one of the front spaces this year, right along the parking lot, then the beginning of our 5K run is going to go right between the classic cars. So that'll be nice for the runners and for pictures and for all that.
Oh, boy, no doubt. No doubt. Make sure you call Gloria Casas and Rick West of the Courier and the Herald to cover it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that'll be cool. Yeah. A friend of mine, I remember Ron Barkley, he was into those front parking places for car shows, and he recently sold his prize-winning 58 Pontiac.
Bonneville?
Yeah. And, it was a beauty with a big special paint job. You'd seen it many times, but he finally sold it at Meekum Auctions. But he was out at that big Sycamore car show, and he was his car was featured on the front page of the paper, too.
Yeah.
But it was because he was there. Guess what time he got there to be in line to be able to get the premier parking spot that he wanted?
7 a.m.
2:30 in the morning.
Really?
I remember him telling me that.
Oh, my gosh.
And he said he was there about less than a half hour, and some other cars started to come. But he got the first spot. He wanted that angled spot right at the intersection, and he got it. And then it was a showpiece place. But then to camp out in his car all night long. My gosh. All right, well, let's begin. And I'll start with my usual intro, Marky B. You know what it is. Hi, everybody, and happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week out there. Steve Thoren here with another Community Spotlight program. I'm joined here with our wonderful producer and the host of the morning show here on WRMN, Trustee Marky B. Mark, you've had a good show this morning. Hi to Larry. I hope he's listening in, and thanks for bringing this little plaque down for me, Larry. I want to say congratulations to our recent commander promotion, and hi to Adam Schuessler, Deputy Chief. Thanks for sitting in. And also to hi to Rose Martinez, my co-counsel that called in and made a wonderful but wise observation. And that was certainly the case. That you don't think of that, but that's the case. Elgin's big enough that you get all the adequate training, but it also is small enough that it allows people to move on and be chiefs in other places.
Yeah.
And they get that training that they wouldn't get if we were a smaller town.
Smaller towns looking for chiefs. They look to our town to help staff their top level job.
You bet.
Yep.
And I think everyone's gone on to bigger and more opportunities and done unbelievable things. Well, on with today's show. As you know, I always start each week's show with a dedication, most often a memorial, sometimes to a living person or persons, even a place or an event. Well, my individual dedication this week is a little different, Mark. This week's show is dedicated to a special night out. What? Yes, a night out like no other. National Night Out was this past Tuesday. Mark, what did you do on National Night Out?
Went down to South Elgin, and I was hanging out down there for their National Night Out festivities.
Very crowded, I bet, at Panton Mill Park.
It was, but I expected actually a few more. I think the weather may have held a few people back, but still a nice crowd.
Great.
Not quite as packed as I thought it might be, though.
Well, let's do a little history of National Night Out. It all began in 1984. The National Association of Town Watch in the United States. It began with neighbors turning on porch lights and sitting out with neighbors. The first National Night Out included 2.5 million people across 400 communities in 23 states. But by 2016, it involved 38 million people. This year, Elgin had 29 registered parties. Many officers attended, councilmen, the mayor, city dignitaries, and Elgin Township Ken Bruderly, as well as numerous mascots. A big thanks to Christy Schmidt of the Elgin Police Department for all her hard work organizing the event. I know the evening enhanced friendships among neighbors, strengthened the respect and comfort bond between the community and the police and city officials, and on and on. Plus, a good time was had by all, from mascots to volunteers, party hosts and neighbors, talking with neighbors, meeting new neighbors, and visiting with old ones. Peach and I hosted a big neighborhood National Night Out party, a party picnic at the Wing Mansion, and so we chose to grasp the concept and invite neighbors that we walk by, or the neighbors that walk by, and neighbors of whom we walk past their home. Many folks, we only know their name. We say hello, but now they came to the National Night Out. I walked all around the neighborhood, and I put invites on people's doorsteps, and it turned out neighbors were talking to neighbors, and we had name tags that included names and your address. So then people could go up and look at the neighbor and see where they lived. And we had a lot of new neighbors that have moved in along some of the side streets. So it was really fun that everybody got to meet so many other new friends. We had people sign up for the Neighborhood Watch program as well. So I'll be turning those into Christy Schmidt. And if there isn't a neighborhood watch in your neighborhood, maybe you should consider being one next year. And also, maybe you could be host a National Night Out party. Think about that. And if not, make sure you attend one. They have the big ones at Festival Park. They have one at the Sheriff's Department. there's always a national night out. I wonder how Officer Henke did over there at the Highland Church, because he actually had a mini car show.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So I wonder how he did.
Henke on Highland.
Yep, how about that? And he lives on Union, right around the corner. Well, I want to thank everybody that came to the party. It was a huge success. I certainly want to thank Ken Bruderly came to ours. He was assigned ours. We had a lieutenant there. We had Scoopy. Do you know who Scoopy is?
No, sir, I don't.
He is the ice cream cone walking mascot from Culver's.
Okay.
So he came, and there were some families that brought kids. So we had some photos with Scoopy and the kids. And then we also had the Elgin Fire Department pull up in the big fire truck out front. And all the kids went out there and had their picture taken with it. And they showed them some extra things about it. So that was really fun, too.
Cool.
John Zimmer, my best buddy, he cooked 100 hot dogs.
Yeah?
So I bought 120, so I've got some extras in the fridge, but I didn't want to run out.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say I bought them. Peach bought them. I gave her the list.
You got 20 more for the weekend.
I still got a few left that weren't eaten that are cooked. I've been eating hot dogs. 2 hot dogs a day for lunch every day since Wednesday, Thursday, and today I'll be eating them.
You and George been sitting around eating hot dogs together?
I think he did get a few extra bites, yes. But it was a fun time, and we really enjoyed it. You know, it's just, and it gives you a good feeling, seeing all these people shaking hands and saying, "Hi, I'm your new neighbor." And then people that know older ones, and they haven't seen them. One lady, I said, "I haven't seen her since last year at this party." And they had this chairs all in a big curve on the driveway, and everybody just had a great time. And that's what it's all about, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get on with some get wells. And we've got George out there. I haven't talked to him in a few days. I hope you're doing all right, George. Please, I'll give you a call after the show. And hope that you're doing well. Chris is doing well. And, of course, our little pal, Louie. Cindy, way out west, she sent me some great pictures of her dogs. And so I hope her shoulder's doing better. She hasn't been expressing discomfort. Good luck to you. Keep her in your thoughts and prayers, listeners. And we'll move on to a few hellos, Mark. And I want to start out with saying hi to a special dear friend of ours, Jim Drumright. Jim Drumright is our friend from Mississippi, and he's visiting right now. So he arrived yesterday. He arrived yesterday morning, and Jim is 88 years old.
Yeah.
And he drove up here by himself.
Wow.
He visited a friend in Evergreen Park for a few days, and now here he is out in Elgin. And he always comes out for a few days. I'm hoping he'll stay through Sunday so he'll go to the steam show with me. He did do that one other year. And I think last year he was here in the fall, but I think the year before that he went to the steam show, and he'd never been to anyone like that before, anything like it.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah, he was quite enamored. So, Jim, I know you're listening. I hope you'll stay and go to the steam show with us on Sunday. Lots of fun old steam tractors. Hey, they're older than you.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah, look out.
Yeah.
Look out. All right. Jim's favorite phrase is, good show. Good show. No matter what you're doing. It has nothing to do with the radio show. Just whatever you do, I say, hey, look at these flowers, Jim. Good show.
Really?
That's Jim's signature statement. So, Jim, I'll be home to reference it to you in a little while. Good show, Jim.
Yes.
Okay. I want to say hi to Anna. I'm not sure where Anna is, so I hope that she's doing well, and I thank her for everything she did. She had a lot of engagement with Christie and deploying different officers for different national night out. So I know a lot of them were very busy.
Right.
And good luck. And thanks to the police being on that on guard yesterday, the situation. You know, I already had someone say, well, you know, they spent all that time and it was nothing. You know, come on. What if it was something? That's the key. If it was something and there weren't enough there, what would you have said? Oh, well, why weren't they there?
Yeah. Dean and I were talking about that too, off the air. It's like, or maybe it was Sonar and I on the air, about the fact that when you have a situation, you have to treat it as if it's the worst possible scenario, because if you go the other way with it and it's worse than you expected and you're not prepared, then you're not prepared to do the job that you're hired to do.
Hey, kind of like the assassination attempt.
Right.
Look at the scrutiny that it's encountered.
Yeah. So overreact a little bit is fine, and then, you know, if it turns out to be a little less, then, you know, you had your bases covered.
Sure. Remember about, 6-8 months ago, they had that envelope with the powder in it at the Elgin Police Department, and they reacted appropriately, and they actually got to use that new vehicle.
It was there yesterday, too.
I bet.
On the bridge.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. They were able to tell what it was. I hope they're able to find that source.
Right.
I'm guessing that some factory or someone someplace must have poured stuff down a sewer drain. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
There's a couple of shops up there on 31. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it could have been one of those shops that,
well, it certainly could have been.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you had to recreate it, how would you do it? You know, that's what I would think of. Go backwards in that mode so as to try to figure out where and what caused it. Where could it have come from? That's where you would start the investigation, I would think.
Yeah. I know some people were speculating on Facebook, at least, that they wondered if somebody jumped in the river because there was a boat down there. And so and it's interesting. Rob Sagan, who was on at the beginning of Fridays with the Finest this morning,
I heard him, yeah,
said they were doing some testing and some things on the water anyway when they got the call, so they already had a boat out.
How ironic.
Yeah.
Well, my guess is whoever the culprit was probably didn't know that, or they never even thought about the consequence.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
That would be it. But they certainly didn't think that it was going to come in and then be in front of people like that and tested and investigated. They just probably got rid of something.
Right. Figure no one would ever know. And there it works its way into the river.
Yeah. So. And then look at what happened. That affected people's schedules.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people were late for work or unable to get to a lunch meeting or something. I mean, when the whole bridge is shut down, that makes a big difference in traffic flow, especially after a while when it all backs up.
Well, thankfully there wasn't a big fire or something going on in Elgin yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, because there were several firefighters and that emergency operations center were all kind of dedicated to that event for several hours, based on maybe somebody pouring some fuel into the gutter. So whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
There's the phrase. Whatever.
Whatever. Good show. Good show.
Good show. Good show, Jim. Good show. Well, let's do a few announcements here, Mark. And I want to mention that how much we back the blue, and we're excited about the First Responders Fest. And I like that name, too. Who came up with the name change?
That was Dean. I like that name, too.
I think it's more fitting, and especially the program itself has evolved to that. And way to go, Dino. Good choice of verbiage and description.
Yeah. It was time to expand after the first 2 years. I mean, maybe I came up with the First Responders idea, but the name of the festival, Dean takes credit for that. Hopefully it'll be a good time this year, and a lot of people will show up. It's gone well for the first 3 years, and we just hope it continues to.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I think it will, and kudos to you, Mark. You don't want to take credit, but I know that it initially did come from you.
It was actually George and I both. George, I think, was the one that originally planted the seed. Our friend Genius George, when he called in about 4 or 5 years ago, during a time when a lot of police were taking a lot of negativity.
Wow. Well, way to go, George.
Yeah.
My error in leaving that part out.
Yeah.
I remember that now. And I know him, he wouldn't want to take credit either. But kudos to both of you, because look what it's turned into.
Yeah.
And it's certainly so well deserving that we put those responders up on a pedestal they deserve to be at.
Sure.
Elgin Senior Services is a place that you need to remember, ladies and gentlemen, no matter who you are, where you're at in life. You might say, well, I don't have a senior in my family or around here. Doesn't mean that won't be. Doesn't mean that your neighbor won't be. It doesn't mean that someone somewhere sometime is going to need assistance and you won't know where to turn. That's where you turn. Senior Services Associates, they do have some events and some activities, but they also take care and offers resources for so many families in need. Keep them in your thoughts. Keep their number handy, 741-0404. The Elgin Public Museum and the Elgin History Museum are wonderful accolades to the city of Elgin. They're assets that we're lucky to have. Make sure you visit those and support them. And with all their programs, I have to get out to the Elgin Public Museum and also the zoo. I want to see the bison. I guess they're together all the time now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
It is.
It's a neat thing. I think they might even be getting a third one at some point, maybe before the end of the year.
Really?
Yep, that'd be cool.
Not one that they create. One that they bring in.
Maybe, well, that would really be cool if that happens, but that would be interesting. They'd have another contest for a name. Make sure you listen to Sherry's Senior Showcase. Sherry does so much for the city, and she's on the third Tuesday at 9:05. So now the show is almost an hour as opposed to before when it was at 9:15. Sherry's Senior Showcase right here on WRMN, the voice of the Valley, and the Valley includes a lot of seniors. The second Tuesday is the Elgin Time Radio, and that'll be this coming Tuesday.
Yes.
This coming Tuesday is going to be a little different. I'll have one guest for a little bit on the phone, but it's going to be a lot of research that I'm working on now, and I had a friend help me from the History Museum, and we're going to be talking about Elgin appliance stores and TV repair centers and the TV repairman and of Elgin and the past. So that'll be interesting. And Mark, it was I don't know that you experienced that with your age, but when I was young, the TV repairman came to your house because TVs were so heavy to move out.
Yeah.
And they would bring a big heavy case filled with tubes and meters and testers. And they would pull your set out from wherever you had it in the corner. When people had their TV went out, or a line would be across it, or it would be making a humming noise, and they would start testing things, and then they would replace a tube here or there. Also, you go to Osco's, you go to Walgreens, and there was a tube testing machine in there. It had all these different size sockets. And so you would bring your tubes in if you wanted to try to do it yourself, and you would put them in the socket where it fit, and then it would show you whether it was good or bad. And then you knew what tube you need to get. And then it sold tubes down in the bottom part of the cabinet.
Wow. That's
pretty
crazy.
neat. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny how in this world everything's become so much more expensive, but televisions have become so much more disposable. And really
less expensive.
Really, in the grand scheme of things, less expensive, yeah. So why even fix it? Just throw it away, get you a new one.
I have an ad at home from 1953, an Admiral television, cost $295. So, I mean, imagine that.
Yeah.
So, we've only got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
And we better hustle through here. Just a few more things to say. Remember the value of Anderson Humane and the fostering opportunity for seniors. It's a great thing to do, and it's a wonderful opportunity for you to have a pet and a companion. Elgin is lucky to have the American Legion home-cooked meals. It tastes just like it's from home. And they've got cruise nights on the second Wednesday of the month, second Wednesday here in August. Lots of cool cars. It's free. Next is they've got a great fish fry there as well. And they've got a fish fry, let's see, not tonight, the second and third Friday at the Turner's Club is a fish fry. The Eagles has one tonight. And the Owls, if you're a member or know a member, I think that's where we might be going. And I just want to thank you, Mark, for all you've been doing and for all you keep doing and for how the station is evolving. And I'm just excited about it as the station keeps changing. And I might want to add one more thing.
Yeah?
Pleasure to hear Tammy back on the air.
Yeah, I think so.
So I heard her call in yesterday, and I'm excited for her to have her show starting next week.
That'll be great. She's going to be in from 2 to 4 each day, giving us a mid-afternoon presence. And then Sonar is going to move to afternoon drive. Matt moves to the morning, and we pretty much have it covered from 6 to 6.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Welcome back, Tammy. Remember, the radio shopping show is still here. It's just more in the background. Listeners, remember the importance. Thank a veteran every day. Thank a policeman and a fireman every day, too. I will always proudly stand for the American flag, for the flag will stand for me. Thanks for a good show, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
God bless America, and I wish everybody a peach of a day, a peach of a weekend, and if you get a chance, head out to Sycamore for the Steam Show and Threshing Bee, or Hampshire for the Coon Creek Country Days. I used to be in the Coon Creek Parade every year, just as a confliction this year, but it's a great fun time and free sweet corn. Enjoy, Mark.
All right, Steve. Thanks for a great show. And coming up next, we'll have Brian Kilmeade one more time before he moves to 6 p.m. in the evenings.
And I'll be listening, and I'll be back at noon with Music Memories.
That's right, brought to you by Oak Crest.
You got it.
Noon to 1 today. See you then, Steve.
Okay, Mark, thanks.
Stevie T wrapping things up. It's Kilmeade next hour. Then, the first hour of Out to Lunch today is with Music Memories and Steve Thoren, brought to you by Oak Crest. And then it will be Sonar for the second hour of the program. Then Matt takes over from 10 to 1 starting on Monday. Have a great day. I'll talk to you back at noon as well. Keep it right here.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 10 o'clock.